Because we're cheap and we can't afford a Generation 1 iPad. Because Allie keeps trying to take all the money for an iPhone X with her.
Do you know how expensive a record player is?
Not that expensive.
Hold on.
And vinyl? Come on, man.
Allie, let me install iPhone, please.
Yeah, no. And by the way, too, I think her denim is more expensive than both fucking mediums of audio play.
Okay.
I believe that.
No. No.
What?
Allie, you had a
First of
$100
all,
shirt that was ripped.
This jacket's not from my store, okay? I got it on sale at Macy's,
Oh my
okay?
God.
And it's one of my favorite jackets ever, and I paid probably like $50 for it.
That's still
Allie,
cheap for her.
I
Allie,
love...
tell
Compared
us
to like my store that sells $300 jackets, I'll take the 50.
No.
Hey, Allie, tell that story in New York or Austin when you came to meet us at the place with that shirt that was ripped in a bunch of places.
No, Alan, you're forgetting the big point. When she comes up in that
inspired.
all denim outfit that's like a sundress, it was some of the weirdest shit I saw. It was like a cowboy outfit.
It was not a cowboy outfit. It was a denim dress. Like, a lot of girls wear that. It's not like I was accessorizing it with some weird accessories. I had on, like, my moccasins, but that was it. Like, I didn't have any weird accessories. What are you talking about?
Are you missing with a cowgirl hat?
I didn't have a cow. That's not even a cowgirl, like, look.
Man, not the way it looked. It blended well with the Texan background.
I got
I can't help but wear denim. I work at a denim store. Like, I'm around it almost 24/7.
Now you know how Martin felt when they fucked around with him during the spill days about his denim.
No, but she ain't lying though. I'm over here looking around, and yeah, $50 sale. Like that. Okay, all right.
That's good for Allie.
Usually, you didn't see it though. Like that, her outfit was like that, except the whole thing was denim. The pants were even connected.
No, hold on. I didn't have. No. What are you talking about?
No.
See,
No.
We need a second witness to Ganja's stories at all times, and I don't remember that.
I never had a denim suit. Like,
it was the first anniversary party where me, Anthony, and Trey went down.
Oh, so your story has no witnesses that are currently here.
Currently here. I have no one to testify for me or against me, so I win.
Can't I live? Like, seriously.
No.
Honestly,
Not wearing denim like that in the 80 degrees weather.
Honestly,
possibly not.
Denim suits are nice as shit. I just realized there's some
Denim
titties.
is more light than other jackets.
I'm sorry, there's
Did I
titties.
wear that in a minute?
I couldn't show that. I'm so sorry. It's just there's titty. So that's why I moved on.
How did you find titty?
Dude, I don't know. I looked at denim suit. Look, like, hey, we're not gonna intro.
No, you don't have to show it, but how?
Like, just watch. Like, whoop. See that titty? I can't stay on it too long because I'll be breaking the law.
Why?
On the very right.
You don't have to prove it to.
Why?
Yeah, I know, right?
Is that denim underwear?
Yeah.
That must be the
denim
most
everything.
uncomfortable thing in the world.
Oh,
No, I know.
So itchy.
No, I know. Yeah, but like that's the thing. And what the fuck is this dude wearing? Jesus Christ! Like,
So-
well, I guess I'll show this version until this loads up.
Show's over, folks.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
I'd like to point out what the fuck are you wearing? You're wearing someone's wallpaper, boy.
They're called
That's-
Tulips Amsterdam.
Did he get that from Adam Knows Everything?
Ruins
Probably.
and no, he got that from his grandmother's house. He just ripped the walls and just converted
That
it
is
to a suit.
ugly.
Think
That's
about
so
all the
ugly.
money that comes back by 100% satisfaction guarantee. Yeah, I don't know if they
Bullshit.
ever made a sale now because holy shit.
They
That is
did.
ridiculous.
Will bought one.
Aww.
Oh, Will that one. Oh, that is fucked up.
Oh, fuck off. When he can wear a suit, then he can say something.
Yo, Alice ain't wrong because as you scroll down, I saw a lot more Will Valleys pop up.
Oh no, this is a Will Valley collection. Oh god, look at this shit.
Oh my god, this
The
is
polka
like
dot one.
this will cause you to have an epileptic seizure.
That
Like,
one's gonna get you robbed. The
much.
fucking money suit.
Yeah, why is this $100 for this fucking thing? That's no.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You gotta
no.
understand is
Real money.
that's a real suit of money, and all those are ones.
Yeah, no shit. Actually, yeah, it's cost $100 because it's a bunch of ones, hundreds of ones. That's ridiculous.
Nick stole my fucking joke, but okay.
Well, no, I was just trying to help you out. No, I don't know. Like, sorry.
Thanks.
But,
Come in at the last minute. I got you. I got this joke.
I don't know. But hey, you know what though? Like, I'll make my own. This motherfucker's wearing the color of the Midnight Chat Attack building operation. Like, that is some really.
Yo, no
awful
joke.
That's Nickelodeon orange right there.
No joke. If we didn't have an MCA suit, I'd wear it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't say you should.
Honestly, I'll wait until we hit a milestone and I might get a tattoo of the logo.
Man,
on his ass.
Don't do that.
Right there between the seat.
It's like attack the crack.
So he's gonna get a tramp stamp.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. Hey, Nick, check it out. I got branded, bro. I got a brand and a brand.
I can't show
Brandon
it because
is
it goes
Brandon.
against nudity.
That's why I'm not showing it, brother.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, exactly.
If not, I will give an example. You know, I'm always ready to.
By the way, what do you have in your fucking head? Is that a slice of pizza? What the fuck is that?
I wish it was. It'd be delicious. Nah,
What?
it's for a white PJ. It's in solidarity with Syria. What's going on right now with the old Donald Trump bomb Syria and whatnot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Donald Trump and cereal. I know that. Man, I hate that
The
cereal.
real Agent Orange suit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I know
You
it's.
just stayed face palming. Why did I even?
I know.
bother?
I just like looking at your reactions.
Ganja's orange slut looks like a popsicle.
I like how fucking Penelope's hiding behind you, like, oh, guy, hide from the jokes. No, hide from the jokes.
I don't blame her.
She turned around like, don't look at me, bitch.
I know. It's like, stop talking about me. Looking over here in the YouTube chat, by the way, too. Red Robot King's calling me a sicko. Nick, you sicko. Leave Allie alone. I'm sorry about that, folks. I don't know what I did, though. Ruthless said you said the shit wrong. He says, Ganja's orange slut? Huh?
No, I just read what Red Robot put.
Well, what'd he say?
Ganja's orange red slut looks like a popsicle.
You added an extra fucking word to that.
Yeah, you're right. I thought you accidentally said this shit. I guess Raheem fucked up. My bad.
Just read.
No, I know. I'm lame. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway.
Let Allie be. She loves her denim. All denim all day. Denim outfits are in and very fashionable. They are, actually. Like,
Man, y'all just fucking traitors right now.
They are if you're, working for a rocker. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're all just on Allie's
Now
side.
they know they have sense. That's what they have.
Hey, I wear denim jeans, but I won't go any further than that.
You know who else? You know who else has sense? You, lots of sense to be buying all that fucking awful outfits and makeup and shit. Okay, so get it, cause sense the money. I was trying to go for a fun there.
That was
I really
terrible.
liked it. I really liked
I'm
it.
offended
No, we
about how
know
bad
you
that
liked
joke
it,
is.
but did us? Did the audience? No,
I
nobody.
don't even think Nick liked it.
That's because you guys are the fun police. I'm just saying.
Fuck you.
Well, that'll be a big thing about today. We'll be talking about a lot of fun police shit, most likely with you hating everything, since we're talking about trailers for once. Speaking of trailers, talking about Channel Awesome. Obviously, you guys see that shit on the side. We're gonna be talking about the Google Docs, not our Google Docs, unfortunately. Talking about,
I don't know.
Not
If
yet,
we keep making fun of Allie and her denim, she might release the Google Docs on us.
I know that'll make some kind of rebuttal. Well, she is a bitch, so I mean,
Hashtag disconnect.
yeah. No, that won't happen. The thing is,
You're not gonna push that hashtag no matter how hard you try.
I'm trying so hard.
But the Ewoke, man, we'll push that.
Yo, I want Ewok to be a fucking.
I can't believe, was that a real legitimate accident that you did that in the docs
All right,
yesterday?
I know you're trying to go into the rules, so I hate that I'm interrupting that, but I'm gonna explain it just for a quick second. Yeah. If y'all go check out the Untitled Video Game Show on Facebook every Friday, Friday at 7:30 CST time, we were talking about the Battlefront new mode where you have the Ewoks hunting down the fucking stormtroopers, and I fucked up and put Ewoks in the Google Docs.
Yeah.
So not only can I not spell, but I could also fuck up trying to describe it.
And if you guys want to go check these things out, by the way, too, go ahead and look at the Midnight Chat Tech Facebook page where Ganja does all this good stuff, all the good jazz. We had a great time playing a good Superman game for fucking once. And granted, we did play the shitty one, Superman 64, and Ganja whooped ass, which I'm surprised. He's like, honestly, like, not to talk shit, and it's not even like talking back, because I like autistic people, but it was like an autistic thing for you.
Wow! Holy shit! I was gonna go that
No,
far.
but I prefaced it with some good shit, so hold on, you motherfuckers.
Motherfucker, you can't just like, hey, I love you and you're a good homeboy, and I fucked your mother. What? No, man, you're the best friend ever I
But
had.
like, look at the story that you just told to the audience right now. Like, oh, I made a mistake and said Ewoks on accident, but I also just completely beat the fuck out of Superman 64, which is one of the hardest games
I
ever.
had nothing to do for the summer of first grade. I didn't get into camp. I didn't have my friends because they were all in different parts of the country. They were all in Okeechobee and they were all part of Bryan, so I couldn't go hang out with them. So I spent the summer with Superman 64. I don't know why, but that's what I did, and I beat the game, bitch.
Yeah, I know you did. And I'm
You
fucking
wasted a
jealous
fucking
now.
summer.
Yeah, by the way, I fucking...
Thank you, Loke.
show this shit really quick. Here it is, yeah. People, this is the game, and you guys know, you guys seen Andrew Gilganer talk about this, etc. But yeah, our boy, Mr. Ganja Guru, like, whooped ass, did all the reigns, all that bullshit, just doing such a great job that I was almost like getting mad and being jealous of this shit. Me and Alan, you can see Alan's face over there. He's just like, what the fuck? But yeah.
Max had the best comment. He was like, yo, send this shit to AVGN.
Yeah, you should have. At that point. Jesus Christ, so fucking...
We sitting there accusing Ganja of fucking putting a YouTube video instead.
Yeah, he had to prove it to us, you know.
The best part is I did it with an N64 controller so y'all couldn't talk any more shit.
I don't know how would you do with the actual keyboards, because even I'd be like, I don't even want to attempt that shit.
It would be a lot easier with the keyboard, because then you'll just be like playing a flight simulator game at that point.
But then talking about using your keyboards and everything, why don't you guys use your keyboards to get inside both the DT and YouTube chat? And by the way, this is our DT chat over here. I know my face thing changed for a second. What the fuck?
What?
Stand the wokeness.
Someone make that right now, or something.
This is great.
We are starting that hashtag. The fast one, but Ewoke, we can roll with that one.
For those of you listening, Dejan put something inside the DT chat, and it shows an Ewok, and then right next to it, it's Ewoke, and I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
The bottom is the wokeness.
Yeah, that's a great meme.
It's like an Ewok just with like glowing eyes.
Oh, those are the ugliest dresses and outfits I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly what
I'm sorry,
was
Allie, but that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, that was exactly what Allie was wearing.
No, I was not wearing that. Stop.
I think I would have remembered that.
No, it was something very similar to that, except it was more open.
It was not.
She's gonna go to her closet and pick it up.
You betray me.
You betray me. It's not.
Is there a photo of you in that denim outfit?
Man, I don't even know. But
She
people
probably still has it.
My outfit did not look like that. Stop doing. No, that is disgusting. That's ugly. No.
Yours?
No.
All right. Hers wasn't that bad.
Dejan is just fucking around. I don't know where Dejan typed it. Well, obviously, he probably typed in denim suits. But yeah,
There you
man,
go,
like
Nick,
there's some ridiculous, shit in here.
Nah, it can be made that's trendy. It's just back then that was not.
It was not. It was bad. It wasn't
Oh,
done well.
Hey, Deja in the chat. We haven't seen you in a while, girl. Where you been?
Wait, who? Oh, Dejan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Taste
I'm
it,
sorry.
Dejan.
I was like, we just looked at Dejan right now.
No, I pronounced her name totally fucking wrong. I apologize,
Yeah,
sir.
no, but Deja's over here. Deja Lino. I don't know if I could say your shit right. My bad. But yeah, everyone's in the chat today too. Which, by the way, too, a lot of the things we're gonna be discussing tonight is also a bunch of video game stuff because of the fact that the high score is not on tonight. So we're gonna be having fun. We're gonna be chilling. But before we do that too, and no, I'm not gonna get into the rules. We're gonna do things a little bit backwards this time because Alan, you usually have your own set of rules for your own little camp inside the after hours. So why don't you tell people what to do before you set them on fire or whatever the fuck.
Damn. Oh, that's interesting. We started the after hours first. Well. Basically, this is the last week we will be doing anything Marvel Infinity War related, because for next week we will be doing a version of a 420 show, implying Gotcha doesn't just die during the week.
Ooh.
So if he somehow survives, we will be doing that. But for this week, we will be doing a fan choice. So any movie that we have not currently already watched in the after hours the last 2 weeks will be up for grabs. Because people said some people want to watch Homecoming, other people want to watch Thor 2 for some fucking reason.
Why?
Basically what it is, when we set up the wrap, everyone's in there, everyone's chilling. Someone throws out an idea. We'll see what the consensus is. And if we can get enough votes on one or two ideas, we will watch whatever the people vote. So if somebody votes for some bullshit, you can't yell at me. It was not my fault we watched Thor.
Yeah,
Blame Gertz.
Yeah, blame Gertz. Yeah, by the way, fuck Gertz. Gertz, if you're watching, fuck you. You're an asshole. But the main thing too about Gertz is that when he sucks. But the biggest thing is that on top of Gertz doing that, man, the people already had voted before that Thor shit. I'm just saying.
Oh my god! Okay, it was a tie. It was a tie.
It was not. Iron Man won.
It was tie. It was literally 7-7.
And by the way, Thor was fucking 0. Oh, no, it was 1.
Thor had 1. So then when I redid it, I just threw it on there as a joke, and then people voted for it, and it's not my fault.
As a joke. That's the thing. As a joke.
They didn't vote for it in the first place. So you think that they would have voted for it the second time?
That's why you don't do that shit, because that's what happens with Trump. That's why
Blame
Trump's the president.
People.
Like, no,
yeah,
no.
It was the people's fault too.
Hey, people, fuck y'all. Fuck the people and O.J. Simpson. Sorry, another.
He did it.
Anyways, Mr. Contra Guru, while you're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy, because I am.
OJ.
Did you say No, never mind. Rule number 1, guys. Newcomers join the call first. We're all about those new, fresh smelling faces, people popping on for the first time or popping on for the first time in a while, like Miss Deja Lenon inside the chat room right now. We miss you, baby. Good to see you. Rule number 2, guys, do not talk over each other.
O.J. Simpson is guilty as fuck.
Or just spout truths. Sometimes people don't want to hear those truths, and it just ruins audio quality for later viewing. Rule number 3, please no nudity. Speaking of ruined quality for later, don't whip out none of those private parts, because that's for you and your man, woman, or other person that you tend to date. I don't know your gender. I'm just assuming. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show, who's on for certain topics, conversations, or set pieces. Yeah, we got set pieces. Don't ask questions. Rule number 5, read the rules, and Allie, girl, say that shit one more time.
Don't be a mean person.
God damn it.
Hello, Mrs. Verdun. How you doing today?
Hi, Mr. Don.
Hello. We have
I'm not saying hi to those motherfuckers. I mean, I don't cuss.
we have set pieces.
Shut up. Don't ask questions. I already told you that in the rules. I already told you the rules. Don't ask questions, bitch.
Good lord.
Hey, I can break whatever rules I want.
Yeah,
Once.
no, of course.
And that's when he whipped his dick out on webcam.
Oh man, and you know what? That'd be great if he whipped his dick on webcam because apparently that's pretty trendy nowadays with Strip Fortnite going on.
Wow, that was a good segue, sir. High
That
five.
was weird.
Yes, thank you. Don't slap me in my fucking face.
I slapped your ass, sir. Bah.
Damn.
Anyway. What the fuck is this?
Man, so apparently, and here's the thing, I don't know how, like, I have a feeling that this is actually not even that true. I think maybe this happened once and people are just like, oh, like, this is a thing that's happening on the internet currently. But for some reason, some dude and his 13-year-old sister were playing this Strip Fortnite shit, and basically, you know, 1 kill equals 1 article of clothing that you take off. You know what I mean? And there's like thumbnails on YouTube now with people playing this, and obviously it's censored because you're not going to show your titties up over there on fucking YouTube. But the thing is, though, it's like, well, it's becoming almost like a React channel thing because they're literally like on thumbnails. It's fucking insane.
How do you say Alan whipped out his Penelope?
I'm gonna Penelope on you. But yeah, looking at this right here, man, I'm already not liking this overly huge, like, you know, I don't know, pushing of Fortnite. Everywhere I look, as far as a video game site or something, there's always some kind of weird, like, greatest hits thing for Fortnite going on.
It's this year's PUBG. Last year was again, PlayerUnknown's was everywhere. The year before that was Overwatch, and now this year is Fortnite. I also get to the point where I shouldn't judge a game before I play it, but I fucking hate it because no one will shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, reading the story, even seeing this on the side of our little panel thing over here, like, Ganja, what'd you feel about this? Did you feel like this was real? Did you feel like, oh, Nick, you just found some awful-ass story? It's not even true. I mean, like, what'd you feel?
Well, no, because I've heard weirder stories about people trying to integrate sex into video games and whatnot. And kind of when it comes down to this stuff, it's whatever. I highly doubt it's going to be a trend or it's going to be something that pops off, kind of like with the what was the game studio that got mad because they were making porn out of their character and they were trying to.
I think it was 2K and BioShock Infinite.
Was it Infinite?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm pretty sure it was Infinite.
BioShock are sexy enough to take the clothes off. Like,
No, because people were because what it was is like, you know, the Rule 34 artists, Deviant, all those idiots who basically make the point of every fucking thing ever. I think it was Take-Two because I think they were saying that the inspiration for Elizabeth was based off his own daughter, and he's like, well, he thought that would stop it, but it made it worse.
You dumbass. But besides the point, like, yeah, it's just one of those things that people do. They always try to sexualize something within the video game context. And now people got their own webcams and they got stuff they got to pay to play websites in more ways than one, you know. But the fact that they have those, it caters to that market. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, if you're an adult doing it, I really don't think so. And there's nothing wrong with if you're a bunch of adults trying to have fun and just integrate something for your child with a little bit of adult play. It's a little weird. It's not my taste, but to each their own. And as long as you're not doing it in like a public servers where you're like, hey guys, if I lose, I take off my pants, then that's wrong because you don't know what kind of people are in there and you don't know if anyone's underage and you can't be doing that shit. But if it's between 2 consenting adults, it's no problem.
all right, well, then there you go, folks. So I want to make this announcement to you right now that we're going to start doing Strip Fortnite. So the first game will be Ali versus Ganja.
Nobody wants to see my butt.
Man, I watched Ali kick my ass so bad in that too.
Nice.
I mean, I am training the Taekwondo.
I didn't mean like physically, girl.
Damn. She's like, I'll physically
and also in games.
She'll wear like 85 articles of clothing, and then even if she loses, she got like an hour before anything happens.
Yeah.
Anyone notice that thread out of nowhere? And it was Overwatch that they tried to do that. It was Blizzard trying to scrub the internet clean of their.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Pornhub's like, the fuck you are.
No, because that's the thing. I remember like Diva, like the cake thing, where it's like there's like so many twerking things of her and these weird like, oh, because she's thick, so it's okay to have like bulging vagina stuff in her fucking. Like, it was weird, dude. Like, that shit. I mean, I understand being like kind of sexy sometimes when the girl has her titties out, whatever. But like, that shit got insane. You're laughing your ass off about something.
Young Mars directed porn. Fortnite has striptease streamers. Overwatch has fan-made porn animation. Next up, sex trafficking of digital cheerleaders on NBA 2K18.
Which would work very, very well. I think
Man.
I would start selling that shit. You know?
You want a fucking real story that happened? Do you remember the PlayStation camera that got released like fucking PS4?
Oh, they started hacking into it?
No. They didn't start hacking into it. People just started going naked on that at all times because it would just record video. And people would just go nude. It got to the point where I think they removed the fucking feature entirely because people just abused it and just like had like with videotape naked people for hours.
Wow. Okay. That's fucking ridiculous.
At that point, you just look at a titty like animagnonically, like a doctor and shit. I know I fucked up that word up, but help me out here, Ruben.
Yeah.
No.
Analytically. Yeah, some shit. I don't know. Now I feel like a fucking weirdo because like I'm trying to go into the thing about this, but I mean, like that camera thing is actually kind of a good idea, honestly.
It's a great idea, but people, given any sort of freedom, will find a way to abuse the fuck out of it.
I guess, yeah. And that's the thing too, is like I really hate that now this is kind of linked up with. By the way, I forgot to even highlight this fucking thing. But I hate that it's kind of, been linked up with this game because this game is already being used for so much stupid things like, oh, guy says the N-word on fucking this, and ooh, Fortnite this and Fortnite that.
Yeah.
And now this is just kind of tied to it with this weird fucking situation going on to the point where I said earlier, like, yeah, they have these rules now. Apparently these videos called one kill, remove one clothing, one kill, one strip, whatever, and even one lick. They're turning this into a sex game now where if you lose a kill or get a kill or whatever the fuck, you get to lick the other person or vice versa. Like, so now it's becoming like an actual sex game.
I think God has a point. It's gonna die like the dinosaurs. It's gonna be like, this is too fucking complicated. Let's just play the game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people aren't actually doing it all, obviously. Like, they're trying to sell this in a sense where people actually go to these videos because, oh, I get to see a girl lick her fucking brother or some weird, nasty, fucking hillbilly shit.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I know, with the banjo and everything playing. But no, like, the thing is, some of these people are not doing it. It says over here that women rarely strip down to anything too provocative, which makes you think, too, like, what, so the dudes are? Like who wants to go on YouTube to watch a bunch of dicks? Not even women.
Hey, man, you don't want to see me in a Speedo?
No, I don't.
No.
Why are you wearing a Speedo while playing fucking video games?
Hey, man, sometimes you gotta make sure you get a good amount of airflow when you play Fortnite.
Yeah, this dude plays the shit in a bathtub, by the way, so this motherfucker's gonna get
With
electrocuted.
my rubber ducky, bitch.
Oh, man, his rubber ducky.
Anyway.
Moving on. Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, according to, and I'm just reading this off of the site. I didn't even know about this before, but according to Google Trends, it's still growing. There are more than 28.4 million Fortnite videos on YouTube. So I don't know what percentage of that is actually these weird ass strip videos, but it's just gonna keep going up.
Probably not as high as you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's fucking crazy. But that's what I want to bring up in that sense. But the main thing I want to bring up is Sega.
Zoe. Incest!
Zoe! Oh, wait, I just saw it too. Zoe's movie maker. I thought you were just like yelling Zoe for no fucking reason.
No, I have a point. I mentioned a name. It's most likely in the chat or I finally lost my mind.
No, you just sometimes generally just say shit.
I just didn't know what they said because I was looking at the other thing. But moving on to another video game topic to bring up is I was really excited yesterday. I even messaged Corey Gowen and be like, dude, you got to bring this up on the high score, man. But Sega said they had an announcement. And I don't know if you knew about this, but apparently they're talking about maybe getting back into the video game console market at some point. And before I even continue on with this whole thing about, because that didn't happen, by the way. It wasn't an announcement that they had today. But Allie, I was going to ask you, you being a video gamer, etc., you kind of came up in a point where, because you don't like retro games at all. You like the new shit. You care about graphics, etc. But did you play anything Sega Dreamcast-wise or anything like that?
Nope.
Nothing? Okay. Well, shit. I mean, like, is there anything that you found interesting that you want to go back at some point or see be remastered to fit current, graphical prominence?
Star Wars.
Of course.
The Knights of the Old Republic, I would like to see remastered. I know it sounds like, oh, of course it'll be Star Wars. But yeah, like, everyone always tells me to play, and I'm like, those graphics just distract me too much.
Allie, you hit me every time you say that shit.
I know, because y'all grew up with that. I didn't grow up with KOTOR. I jumped on the wagon later on, so going back and playing something so dated, like, really, like, it just looked
not
like
as dated as you think. I played it recently for the first time.
I know it's not as dated, but I like realism. Well, not realism, but like Last of Us or something like that, to that extent.
She likes pretty shit.
Yes, I like pretty graphics. And I just feel like video games are really stepping up with like the acting as well, the production value.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate that more nowadays, that when I go back and it didn't really, except for like, of course, the story with KOTOR was really good. It didn't really matter as much everything else. Now it's like really matters. So I like that more cinematic feel. And I just feel like it's just lacking a little bit for me with KOTOR. So I would like to see that remastered with all new graphics. Because then I'd play it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. I mean, I like remastered shit too. I mean, last year Sonic Mania came out, which is not really a remaster, but when you really think about it, people, it's the same fucking video game. People need to stop getting on that horn with Sonic Mania. Oh, it's fucking like newest coolest thing.
Right.
Crash Bandicoot came out, and then this year, obviously Spyro's gonna be coming out soon, as well as Shaq Fu. Shaq Fu: The Legend Returns coming out.
It's seriously coming out. I keep thinking that's a joke, and everyone just like
no,
joking.
it's a joke that's gone too far. Like Tom Wiseau as a great director.
It turned into a fighting game. Wasn't it a fighting game at first, and now it's like a third-person action game or some shit?
Yeah, and it has like own like anime aspect to it too, and it's like a beat 'em up thing. Like there's a lot of shit to it that's different.
Weird.
But it's good though, and I'm glad that they're doing it and they're trying one more time and making a joke of themselves too, because they do make little references in the trailer of like, yeah, we did some bad shit, people. We're gonna fix ourselves. But then you get something like this happening where, yeah, the announcement that Sega made was not about a new console. It wasn't anything about that. It was about Shenmue 1 and 2 coming to the PS4. And for me personally, with all these games coming out and being remastered, I fucking really did not like this announcement. They hyped it up like it was going to be a real big fucking thing. Like, oh man, Dreamcast 2, or like the Genocide, or some shit. I don't know what the fuck.
Genocide? Anyway, I don't know.
Genocide?
No, not Genocide. Like Genesis Pro.
Yeah, Genocide. It's a Sega's next console after the Dreamcast.
Did they kill all the competition?
Man.
Oh man, fuck you.
Based on the Sega stupid names, would you really be surprised if they called it Genocide?
That takes the whole slogan we do in a 10 don't to a whole another level.
But like, Sega, please, Nintendo don't. No, but the thing is, talking about this, I was really bummed out by it, but I know a lot of people were talking all good. I kept seeing a bunch of happy emojis, in the comments and shit.
Like, I know what you mean when we expected something like that people actually give a shit, which is on the Sega Genesis, so it's probably few and far between. But when Shenmue 3 got announced, people were crazy all over the place. I have a buddy of mine that was super fucking excited. And he's, when that Kickstarter happened, I think he got the tier where he got his name in the credits. So it's like, he's a huge fan of this shit. I honestly never really gave a shit. But Shenmue is still one of those games that people really, really enjoy. So it's like, I get why it's exciting, why people are excited for it.
I hate to interrupt your whole little love of the Dreamcast and all these old consoles.
The Dreamcast is shit.
I don't care. All right, when you keep saying this game's title, I think you're saying Shamu, and I keep thinking that goddamn killer whale from SeaWorld, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I actually do that on purpose because it pissed my friend off so much. So he just kept calling it Shamu for the longest time.
You motherfuckers! I'm like, all right, what is this game about? And he showed little clips of it, and I'm like, wait. I thought it was like Echo, where you play this little Shamu creature and it ties into the theme park some fucking way. Man, every Shamu I had just died, but that's besides the sad point.
We want Shamu. Oh, look at this Shenmue 3.
Man, fuck
Shenmue.
you.
Shenmue on the Wii U. What are the jokes with?
Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures.
Oh, I need to edit a fucking. I need to Photoshop a fucking box art of Shamu 3.
No, that's fucking awful, man. But no, and then Ruth was saying, "Fuck you, Alan. The Dreamcast was amazing."
I don't give a fuck. You could say y'all can hate on me all you want, but guess what? The Dreamcast died really, really quickly, so it's all your fault, not mine.
Yeah, no, I actually like the Dreamcast because Rage Rumble Boxing and Resident Evil.
That controller is terrible.
No
one can sit here and tell me with a straight face that controller is not one of the worst controllers ever designed.
No, but going to the thing where we would get like an emulator or something like that too, I think these games are very replayable, especially things like what's it called, Galaga? God damn, what the fuck? Remember the game that it's about colors and it's a space shooter and you fight vertically? Ikaruga. No, it's Ikaruga. That's a game. That shit was amazing. Anybody played Ikaruga?
No, I haven't.
No.
I've never even heard of it. And yeah, getting the emulator is kind of it's wonky. It's not like the Nintendo one where it's quick download. Since again, all your fault. No one really cares about the Dreamcast. The emulator is kind of difficult to get running. But once you do, it's like you can get it going. But it's like this console kind of came and died because it just wasn't able to live up to the par. So a lot of these games being remastered and sent to the Xbox. The Xbox essentially killed Dreamcast. When the Xbox came out, it basically just walked into the room. It Negan'd it. It walked into the fucking room, it baseball bat the Dreamcast, and then everyone just kind of moved on.
Yeah, true. I mean, I feel the exact same way. And I think that one thing that really bothered me, too, is the timing of the Dreamcast as well. Because with the PlayStation 2, that shit had so many extra shit with it.
No one's going to survive that
Well,
shit, man.
The YouTube chat right now, the only reason that shit's won is because it had the DVD player with it. And yeah, I remember a lot of my friends and family members got the PS2 because you could play games and watch DVDs on it.
It was the cheapest one at the market at the time.
Yeah, and Eddie's talking in a nice way about Dreamcast as well. He's saying he played a shitload of Vigilante 8 and Second Offense and Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast back in the day. So I don't even know those games are, as you can tell, because I fucking worded it all wrong and completely
Soul
butchered
Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur. But yeah, it's just people do think good things about this, Alan, Mr. Fucking.
I don't give a fuck. The console failed. It's not my fault. It's theirs.
Yeah, so
You didn't believe in the blast processing hard enough. That's why.
That never happened. They made that up. That was all fake.
Well, yeah,
like
but it's a marketing employ, and I mean, like, if they told you exactly, Alan, in that commercial break, when it's for fucking like little kids and everything, if you explain the gigahertz and the megahertz of the processor and the speed and the CPU, are the kids gonna know what the fuck that is? No, just say blast process.
But the thing is, it's not like they didn't just say blast processing as a way to explain the gigahertz. They just invented it. There was nothing in there that was extra. They just said blast processing and hoped nobody was smart enough to question it.
Okay, well then what the fuck is Super in the Super Nintendo?
It was super as fuck because it was better than the original.
That's what blast processing is, motherfucker. Like, goddamn.
No, because then they call the console blast processing Genesis.
Hey, Alan, this is
blast processing. What is it? Who fucking cares?
Alan, this is self-masturbation all over again, baby.
Oh, fuck you. We're seriously bring up that random conversation that no one has any context for.
Oh, by the way, too, I actually added it in. We are talking about this later. We will have that discussion tonight.
Oh,
people, if you guys want to hear about masturbation, please stay tuned.
And, okay, Ruthless. I'm not saying teraflops aren't real. I'm saying teraflops are confusing as fuck.
Allie, not that type.
Yeah, not that type. The type where you go fuck yourself, literally.
The very classic type of masturbation, like what I pinky at.
I'm out.
Organa doesn't understand what the word masturbation means.
Yeah, honestly, too, like classic. Yeah, you fucked that up. Yeah, I don't know. Moving on though, too, and this is the thing that maybe Alec can jump on it as well, because obviously, before we even continue on, too, we don't give a fuck about Shenmue 2 or 1 or 3.
I'm kind of interested, honestly. Like, I am glad that this remaster's coming because it gives me a chance to actually, play this on a controller that's not a piece of shit or an emulator that doesn't work. So I am kind of excited this is coming to the PS4, so I can actually get a chance to try this out before the third one comes out.
Okay, yeah. Eddie said, yo, I messaged you on DT, bro. I'll definitely bring you on later on, sir. But I'll make sure to look around here, too. If you guys want to come onto the call, make sure to let us know on the Facebook post I just made earlier on Children of the Toast, or DT PM, or on Inbox PM on Facebook. That's a lot of fucking places to be messaging people. Sorry about that. But yeah, and then,
or you can send your news directly to my S9. Hey, Hovik, check it out. I got a phone too, Hovik. Look.
Can I show mine? Can I?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Samsung Brothers.
Oh, look at that shit, Allie. Look at that. Yeah.
No, you are alone right now, Allie. No one will defend you.
Hey, at least. No, you motherfuckers got phones from the last 2 years. Mine's still from 2012.
Y'all didn't see that, but she was looking around like, the fuck is my phone?
Where's my phone? Oh my god!
Ours is beside us. You're still trying to run away.
No, I put it on the table where it's supposed to be because I'm a responsible adult.
So are we.
Wait, I'm not. Fuck.
My iPhone.
Oh, good old iPhone. But the thing is,
iPhone.
You're about to show us your text messages of like, yo, man, I need toilet paper. Mom, get back home.
Nah, it's just text messages from you saying like, hey, let's start the show.
Me yelling shit. God damn it.
Don't worry, Allie. We get those too.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, we get random text messages too.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. And I drunk text him too. I'm like, I love you guys when you're dead. But moving on though, Star Wars Battlefront 2 brought back those precious microtransactions. Allie, what's up with your boys over there at Star Wars?
Don't ask me, okay? I'm not really on the Star Wars train anymore, so.
Really, you're not because of Last Jedi, or just because of everything that's going on?
I still like Star Wars, but I'm just not as. I'll always have a passion for the older movies, but these new ones and the new stuff coming out, I'm just nothing's really wowed me, so I'm just kind of whatever about Star Wars now. I'm not surprised they brought back microtransactions. I knew this was just a temporary thing that EA was going to do. Okay, let's just take it away because everyone was complaining. Okay, well, let's just take it away for maybe a year, and then we'll just kind of sneak it back into the game, and no one will notice.
Yeah.
Because So not surprised.
It's fucking ridiculous to me, and I didn't think they would do this because, man, it became a thing where Destiny 2 was even like, yo, we're not going to do this. We are not pulling this shit.
Right.
But yeah, it's just I don't know what's going on in that sense. But you, Alan, like I know you like Battlefront and everything too, and I thought you said you were going to get this game, or I could be wrong.
I was able to get it on the cheap because it's like as much as I honestly wanted to get this situation where it's like I love DICE because I do think they are honestly one of the best developers for first-person shooters right now. But honestly, this shit with EA is really pissing me off because people are taking it out on DICE. DICE are a great fucking developer. The Battlefield series is incredible. Mirror's Edge actually surprisingly not that bad. And Battlefront as a game is a lot of fun. But this shit is basically it's the situation where the publisher is making the developer look bad, and EA is like, well, we're trying. It's like you're just making DICE look bad, and this is how EA kills fucking developers like BioWare and iRadical, and no, that was Activision. Like they end up killing these things because they put all the blame on the fucking developers. Like I'm upset because Battlefront is a lot of fun, and when people give it a chance, it could be a great fucking game. But they keep like, well, people are enjoying it again. Okay, fucking piss off the audience again. It's honestly a little bit ridiculous because the game's a lot of fun and I do play it, but this stuff is starting to bother me because now we're just gonna go right back to the hatred.
Now, Ganja, your boys, you love your Star Wars and everything. Like, how are you feeling about this, man? I mean, I know that you do want some good gameplay and everything too. So it's like, I wouldn't judge you if you didn't get this game and didn't get these cosmetics. But what do you feel about it, dude?
I didn't get shit, dude. I didn't even buy the game or play it. I don't think I even played it, honestly. I think I maybe got a demo at one point when it was like early access.
Oh, like
but
beta?
after.
Beta?
Yeah, the beta.
Yeah.
I think I played the beta a little bit. But after that, I kind of just dumped that shit because the whole fact that they were just charging me extra for a lot of these characters, that should be honestly staples. I get if like they're second tier or like first tier characters that no one really is so hyped for, like kind of like Lando, where a lot of people that are like Lando, they really like him and they would buy for him. But a vast majority of Star Wars fans wouldn't just go out their way to play Lando Calrissian. Whereas they just locked up all the major players, just Leia, Darth Vader, very like classical characters that you want to play when you play a Star Wars game, especially one that takes place within the universe and the same time period as the movies. So I don't get why the fuck they did that at all. And not only that, the fact that the multiplayer seems to be their biggest focus, and they just focused so much on that to the fact that it became unbearable to a point where a lot of those guys from our here within 2 weeks got like really good, so it was hard to grind to get a lot of these stuff necessary. So a lot of people were kind of just breaking down and purchasing a lot of the in-game stuff because that was the only way to get a chance to actually get these equal items.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I'm looking at this, and it's a beautiful fucking game, man. It just sucks that this shit is like. Because honestly, dude, I would buy if I had the money. I would buy this fucking game. I'm not a Star Wars fan, and I don't like these Star Wars games except for the last Battlefront.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, man, way to just ruin all your fucking hype for something, man. Like it really sucks.
That's the thing. Like me and Dodge have had yelling matches about this shit where it's like, again, a lot of the upgrades really don't matter. They focus on the multiplayer heavily. That's I agree with them on that, and I do kind of like that because we don't have in my opinion, we don't have a lot of good multiplayer out there. We just have.
Good girl, Holly. Good girl.
But the thing is, like a lot of the stuff in there is a lot of cosmetic stuff and a lot of stuff that you really don't ever need to play. Because I play it every now and then. I still have zero problem dealing with the average player when you're playing the bigger conquest modes. Mm-hmm. So it's like I think just a lot of the stuff is people wanted to quickly play these characters, where it's like the game was never going to be built like that. It was always built like a first-person shooter. Are you talking to the dog now?
Allie's still like, it's still barking, most likely.
Yep.
Anyway, but it's like, I do get people's frustrations, but I just think that, like, it's hard to say to give it a chance when they're pulling this shit again. So I probably should have just said this a couple months ago. It's like, give the game a fucking chance. Like, I also legitimately think if a bunch of people actually went down and played it, you would have fun with this.
And the one thing is, too, someone asked in the chat, like, this was something that's going on with just, like, is it fucking up with the gameplay? And this is not. This is letting people play or spend money on crystals, in-game currency that players can spend on cosmetic upgrades. Now, for me personally, when you're spending money on something, you would not want to just dress up your characters. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to spend money to play fucking Barbie with these virtual fucking things. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get a better gun that I can knock somebody the fuck out with. So
yeah, but
some people might think that that's bad, but I'm like, if it's spending money, give me a reward. I want something that no one else can get if I'm spending actual fucking money because they didn't spend that money. So I want to feel fucking special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the game doesn't even do that. Like when you go and buy crystal.
Before, when it first came out, they started doing that. Like
no, because the thing is, what it is, people would buy the crystals, and the crystals would be used to buy upgrades, and the upgrades wouldn't be like, here's the fantastical gun. It'd be like, here's an upgrade to make the gun a little bit better, but it was like 2%, 3% damage. That's a lot of what was happening with the game.
Yeah.
But people just immediately saw the microtransactions and assumed it was going to be something crazy like a fighting game, like where it's like we had to buy this shit. Where it's like it really never was that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like people, if you're complaining about like a 3% damage increase, it's like, don't blame that you got shot in the fucking head on the gun's power. Okay, you fucking suck and you
Headshot
lost.
to headshot.
Yeah, no, I know exactly. But like that's the thing. Is people will be like, oh, that motherfucker was blah blah blah. It's like, no, dude. Like you can die in a game. It's a first-person shooter. Like you're gonna die. Fucking chill out.
And I think what it is, like, you know, and got to the point of it being multiplayer. It's like Star Wars is such a grandiose franchise that it encompasses every man, woman, and child on the fucking planet. But multiplayer games are a really small subset, so it pisses people off from the get-go because it's like it was never going to be the grandiose thing people wanted, like the Old Republic or all that other jazz. Right. It was always going to be essentially for the people like me that love Battlefield. It's like it was honestly doomed from the get-go, which is annoying because I think the game's fun and I do think DICE is a great developer.
Now, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to be happening with this, guys. I mean, it sucks that this is continuing on with microtransactions, but you're not forced to do it, so don't fucking bitch so much, okay? Like, shit. You know, I mean, if you're not used to spending a lot of money on Star Wars products, then you've never been a Star Wars fan in fucking general, so shut the fuck up. But moving on, this is something I'm actually really curious about because Ganja and Alan, I didn't know that this even existed. And you're like really happy about this. This never happened.
I'm so excited for this because it's like it's one of those things where I hope. Okay, the last time anyone was this excited for something, it was called The Killing Joke, where it was this iconic comic book for an iconic character. So I'm gonna preface this with when we come back and watch this, I hope this doesn't fucking suck.
It will.
But the death of Superman is one of those things where it was one of the biggest moments in comics. This is like I don't even know how to compare this. Nick, by the end of this, you might be able to compare this to something in wrestling. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where this was the biggest superhero ever. Everybody knew him when he was in his heyday. Top of the world. You can walk down the street. You think Star Wars is big? Nothing compared to Superman. Superman was before and Superman will be after. But it's like every single man, woman, child was like, Superman, Superman, Superman. So when they had a comic and they titled it The Death of Superman, everyone was freaking out of, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And it ended up being like one of the best comics where Doomsday gets created. And yes, a lot of it was done in Batman v Superman and done poorly because there was no gravitas to it. But in the comics, they were able to build up why the Doomsday was so powerful to be able to kill Superman. The fight lasted for so long, and the death wasn't just, well, it's over now. They had like pages and issues of the actual funeral with all the Justice League. So it's one of those pivotal moments in comic book history, the death of Superman. So I'm super excited that we get to see it in the animated form because they, for the most part, have kind of proved themselves that they can still do the animated stuff. So it's like, I really want to check this out.
Yeah, and this looks really cool. I like the way it's you know, like the way it looks. I mean, I don't know what animated, I guess, like the way it looks animated. But the one thing I will say too is that I like that this is going to guarantee this particular thing. So it's like they don't have to find ways to give you unpredictable storylines or kind of like surprise you. It's like, no, this is fucking quality. We know what we're gonna do. We're not trying to put a wool over your fucking eyes. We're gonna give you what you wanted, you know.
Exactly.
And we're gonna fix some fucking problems. Now, Allie, I know you love your DC. Well, I mean, you used to. I won't say that anymore. But like, yeah, are you kind of excited for Death of Superman being the thing, or did Killing Joke completely kill your hype for this stuff?
Man, fuck you.
Yeah, Killing Joke killed everything.
Man, I know, but it won't be as bad. Maybe.
No, because we already had that. It's called Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and
yes, but that didn't have any gravitas, and it was like 5 minutes. Imagine if the end of Batman v Superman was extended for a movie.
Any better? I don't think.
Come on, Allie, you watch Wonder Woman.
All the stupid stuff too. You know they're gonna do that. They're gonna focus on all the stupid stuff that came afterwards. With all like the 7 different types of Supermen. You remember that part?
Yes, I do.
You remember that? That was stupid. It was awful. And he came back with a mullet. Like, no, that's stupid.
Not even the worst one.
It was dramatic. It was dramatic. Like the first part was really great, but like once he died and afterwards, that was all crap.
Yeah,
and that's where I think they're gonna focus a little bit more on. I don't think that you're going to focus on the things that you
want. Come on.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be good.
This is actually Allie in the future when she watches this, just like, Oh no.
That's
Like,
gonna be me in the future. You have someone there laughing maniacally, because that's gonna be Ali when she's like, "I told you, I was right."
Yeah, and I mean, like, I agree with Ali in a sense, but the thing is like, for me, when it comes to animation stuff, I don't really have a big thing to compare these two to say, like, oh man, this needs to be as good as this, because all the shit is kind of, I'm not really the biggest fan of this shit, but like you, Ganja, I honestly, I don't know why, but I always equate your opinion to somewhat mine. Like, I feel like you're closer to me as far as these opinions go than Alan and Ali. But what are you feeling about this, dude?
Man, I'm not interested any bit because, like you said, Suicide Squad kind of already touched on this story, and it was one of the big collective moments in the comic book comic book series. And the problem with it is they're not building it up to it, and it seems to be a standalone movie. So the gravitas of the Death of Superman is just going to be in this one singular movie, and I highly doubt they're going to be able to pull it off within an hour or two. And not only that, because it doesn't call back to any original series members or any other like kind of not like now canon stuff. With the gravitas of these characters dying, it's gonna be like, oh well, you know, Wonder Woman got, or Superman's finally dead, and it's gonna be like, oh well, that happened, and well, he's gonna come back in the next movie if they do a sequel. Or we all know he comes back in the comic book. So any kind of like sense of like, oh my god, they killed Superman off in the animated universe, it's kind of thrown out the window because it's not a continuum of anything.
Yeah, no, and I kind of agree with that too. But I mean, I hope that this shit is actually gonna be good. I actually didn't hate Killer and Joke as much as everybody else did. I'm sorry, Ali, but I mean, I honestly really like the animation style too. The way it was working, like within 24 frames, that shit was actually not that bad. What, Ganja? What the fuck?
I did not. I thought it was boring. I honestly didn't even notice the fucking animations. I was like, it's just boring.
I don't know how you defend that shit. I just don't know.
I'm sorry.
He defends Suicide Squad. He'll do anything.
Yeah, no, and let's not get into that shit, because Suicide Squad is not that fucking bad. People are just making up shit. Like,
Yes, it is.
You're right. It's not that bad. It's still not good.
No, because we talked about this the other day with
It is bad.
Enchantress. Okay, so
Oh,
Randy,
you make Queen of the
Yes,
Damned?
it's terrible.
you still think she's as terrible as you said like 2 years ago?
Yes.
Ah, what the fuck?
Man, watch Queen of the Damned, and it was like, man, whoever watched this either loved or hated this movie, because it is the exact same design as Enchantress.
I'm not saying it's good, by the way, too. Like, because by the way, BBM saying like, of course Nick liked Killing Joke. I didn't like necessarily like it. I just didn't think it was so bad. It's like when I watched it, I was like, you know what? I like the animation of this. You son of a bitch, BBM, you motherfucker! He said, I bet he really likes
Nick,
Raw
this is not the
25.
Ringside Hangout. This is the MCA.
Ah! You son of a bitch. No, but and JJW, Nick D with the shit opinion. So, you know, I fucking Thunder, right? I'm just gonna leave that. But I will say, like, yeah, Killing Joke, the animation stuff, and I'm not a big animation buff, so it's like when I see certain things move at a different way, I'm like, ooh, like that caught my eye. It's a little bit different, you know. People were even complaining that Killing Joke moved so slow and that it looked like a comic book in movement, but that really fit the comic book feel. Like, you know, don't make it move all fluid and everything. I want to see some different shit. So yeah.
No, stop defending the frame rate. It was
There are
abysmal.
worse things in that movie than the fucking FPS.
I know, man. It's jarring at points. Like, it's really.
I didn't notice
some
that, man.
scenes are fine, and then other scenes just like.
But doesn't
Like,
it feel
what?
like someone's changing the page to you, though? Like, it feels like an actual comic, like someone's moving it.
No, there's a difference. This is not. The Killing Joke was done terribly. Like, you could tell they just didn't have a budget for it.
All right.
No, and there's like no depth. There's no dimension in the characters at points. Like, some parts they would take right out from the graphic novel, and those parts look good, and they put the most work into that. But then everything else, they didn't care about, and so like you could see, there's just no extra color in certain objects that like create that like depth that you need it to have in like an animated film to just make it more pleasing for the viewer and to kind of draw them more into the world. And with that lacking, you're just kind of like, okay, it's just, yeah, see, there's just nothing.
I don't see what the fuck y'all are seeing. Am I blind?
No, I mean,
This-
the thing is, like, because of the shit, because she's done a lot of editing there, and I have to, like, literally do things in 60 and in 30, so I know the difference because, like, I had to do back and forth.
Sure.
So, for me, I'm able to see it. And especially when it comes to animation as well, especially in being 24 frames, because most movies and older movies happen at 24.95 frames, and this is what this was done, where it feels old. It feels like this is not something that came out like 2 years ago. This feels like something that came out in 1997 because it has
does.
the same frame rate, you know. But
Yeah,
for me, and you know how I am, Ellie. Me and even like Anthony, our old host, like we're nostalgia freaks, you know, and you don't like nostalgia as much. You know, you like the new shit. You like to move on, evolve, etc. and I kind of like to stay in the past somewhat. So maybe that's why I like this. I don't know. But yeah.
Why would you want that part of the past? Why would you want to go back to a more primitive time for animation?
Because
Like-
I've seen the new animation stuff, and nothing's ever kind of like it felt so
Honestly,
new that I feel taken out of it, like Spider-Man
think-
stuff. Or go ahead.
I think that's a bad excuse as well, though, because you can also argue that like back in 1930s, Snow White was made, and look how that film looks, still holds up because they put effort into their animation, and it's still very fluid. You can still watch that today and still like be in that world and feel like, okay, wow. So that's not really an excuse that like, oh yeah, the animation's bad. Like, the animation is just like the frame rate's not as good. It reminds me of the 90s. Like, no, because yeah, you got to look back to the original cartoons that are black and white and have more depth and dimension and frame rate that are drawn by hand than on the computer. That for this movie that came out like 2 years ago. So no, that's a terrible excuse.
I see what you mean, but like me, like I'll go back and watch something like Gargoyles or even like fucking. I'm trying to think of another show that I watched from back around that time.
Animated. It was around the same time.
Wait, what would you say?
You never watched the Batman animated series, which was basically around the same time as Gargoyles?
Yeah, but you know what though? And I'm so glad you brought that because Batman animated looks kind of like this. Like it looks kind of like The Killing Joke. I mean, granted, I know that Batman animated is better.
It had more style.
I don't even see that. Like to me, it reminds me of like obviously it looks different than the Batman animated or some of the stuff there. But to me, watching it, I'm like, I honestly do not see anything of what y'all talk about because it reminds me of the animated stuff of almost all the other ones brought before, except for the it's not as much smooth the edges. It's all really sharp edges. It's the only thing I noticed in that shit.
Yeah, and what were you saying, Allie?
Well, it's just Batman in the animated series. They went out of their way to like do a specific type of animation that emulated actually older animation. So that was almost intentional, but even back then, still had better animation. Like, still the movement of the characters were still like, yeah, of course, it's TV.
This is stiff as fuck, though, Allie. This is
no, I'm saying it's TV. So they did what they could within the confines of their budget, and they made it. I think they made it work as to the best of their ability until, of course, like the later seasons, it does get better, like and more fluid. But there's no excuse for The Killing Joke because you have every single other Warner Brother animated movie. Their animation looks great. So how come you get to this one and all of a sudden it looks so amateurish? So like you can't. It just does. It's not on the same level because like it's a movie, it's a feature film, and you have like Mark Hamill in it and Kevin Conroy. You have these people that have been at it for a while. Yeah, you have a bigger budget. So why is it that it's lacking? Like it's lacking as much, any type of fluidity like the other films you had in the past. Like sure, it's rated R, but still, like you need to put a little bit of effort into that. Like we're talking about people who could edit like this in Flash. Like it's not a. This is a major studio.
Jumping down this boat, man.
Yeah, sorry. Well, we'll get off of it. Yeah.
because they cheap out on the story that people wanted most for an animated film and we're looking forward to the most, and is one of the most influential graphic novels in comic book history, and you're going to cheapen out on this story. It's an insult.
And that gives you
it really is.
And this makes you think that, yeah, well then if they can't fucking do that right, they're definitely not going to be doing Death of Superman right. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's so different.
No, but me and honestly, Alan, I'm with you, dude. Like, because this looks cool as fuck to me. I'm sorry, and even bringing in people from the Justice League too. Like, I love that Cyclops is in here too. But I mean,
they've been pushing him since the Justice League.
Cyborg.
Fuck!
They've been pushing him. Okay.
God damn, Nick.
Man, I'm sorry. I call him Cyclops. I fucked up.
Man, don't insult him like that.
But shut up, Gonzo. You haven't been saying shit. You don't know who the fuck is who.
No, I know who the fuck Cyborg is, Mr. Cyclops.
Then they're walking up to me going, man, that's the worst.
Man, Alan, I don't care. Whatever. I don't know the characters, but I'm fucking excited for this. I'm with you, dude. Me and you, fuck these guys, okay? Now
we'll see what happens when the movie comes out. I hope I'm right, but I'm afraid they're right.
You don't know the character's name. It's very excited.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Anyways, people, look, I'm full of shit, alright? But here's the thing. We're going to talk about something I actually legitimately am excited for because I fucking love this series very, very much, except for the second one, honestly. I'll be honest. Ocean's 8. they're doing the Ghostbusters thing of like, hey, women, so let's just do something
But
because
this
women.
actually looks not bad. Okay, let's say this. When I say that this is like Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters, when you saw the trailer, it was so overt what they were trying to fucking do, it was almost insulting. With this is the most generic thing in the fucking world, honestly. But it seems like at least that they got everyone in the roles because they thought it could work. The problem is they didn't do anything interesting with the cast that they got. The most interesting thing in here is Rihanna being a hacker.
Yeah, which I mean, it's funny, and I feel like some of the things they're gonna be doing, especially like the character choices they're gonna have for these actors or actresses, are gonna be because like, hey, isn't it funny to see Rihanna do this? Isn't it funny to see this other person do that? Like, I get that. Honestly, it's like it's for people who are fans of these actresses. You know, more so
I
than
hate Sandra Bullock with a burning passion
Bullock?
of sons. I don't care how to pronounce her fucking name.
Everyone made fun of me with Cyclops, but you motherfuckers kicked
Yeah,
me
but you
out shit with
confused two
Sandra
people. I'm just
Bullock.
terrible at pronouncing. There's a huge difference.
Okay. Well,
But
I'm gonna try to
honestly,
process that.
Yeah, I will process that, but I can't fucking stand her. Miss Congeniality 1 and 2, the entirety of Gravity are her just screaming the entire fucking time. Like, I can't fucking stand her, so I don't want to see this movie only because of her.
Okay, can I ask you something? Man, this is gonna get deep, but I feel like your hate for her and Natalie Portman are very the same. You fucking hate women for some time.
Oh, fuck, don't put that
That
evil
is
on me,
Julia Roberts.
motherfucker.
That is
I like-
Julia
like-
Roberts.
No, I'm really like wondering like why, because every time you say like you don't like Natalie
I
Portman,
just
I'm
don't
like,
think, again, Ali keeps saying, Black Swan before she kills me. I don't like anything Natalie Portman's ever been in.
You can't judge because you haven't seen her best work.
Okay,
Like,
I haven't seen everything Nicolas Cage has been in, but I'm pretty sure he sucks.
no, but you guys see
no,
his
he's
work
won
though.
an Oscar. Like he has
What?
been talented in the past.
For
Yeah.
what movie?
No,
Yeah, have
Nicolas
you
Cage
watched
is-
it?
What the fuck he won? Maybe one other movie where he's not the worst.
Like, and by the way, I
I'm
can't.
just saying one.
But the thing is, like, this one is like with her. I'm actually like I don't like Miss Congeniality. I don't like the fucking movies yet, so I'm not gonna go in a big old rant about her because I agree with you on. But the thing is, I haven't seen the
Nick,
movies.
for another time, that is Julia Roberts. That is not Sandra Bullock.
You? Wow.
I'm
Can I get
I
another
was
person
trying
in
to
my
help
back?
you.
And I'm the
I was
one
trying
that's
to help
hot.
you before, okay? But you went back to it again. I'm like, before someone else, I'm just gonna let you know. Yeah, we know it's Julia
Can somebody
Roberts.
else back me up in this argument besides Nick? Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to help anybody.
And I'm the
No.
one that's stoned, y'all.
I'll take that.
Okay, you know what? No, you guys can keep talking shit.
I can work
these,
with Stone.
I'll show these two bitches right next to each other. They'll look the fucking same.
They look nothing alike.
They
You
don't.
get mad at me for doing
Oh,
that
God.
shit, and you're gonna seriously sit here and tell me Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock look the same?
Hold on. You keep talking over there, sweetheart.
I think he's talking to you, Ali. I don't think he was talking to
No,
me.
I'm calling you
I
sweetheart,
was talking
motherfucker.
to you, Alan.
I'm talking to you. I'm calling you sweetheart.
Oh, he calling you a little bitch.
Man, fuck you.
Oh, ooh. Look at this shit.
Here we go.
Pow.
They look.
Same
You
bitch.
didn't,
Nothing alike.
you didn't even get a picture of her
No,
hair.
son. They don't. Her face is 10 times smaller than hers.
Man.
Man,
You
you're
didn't even
pulling
get
a
a picture
Viola
with their hair
Davis
down.
right
We're
now.
only saying the same hair.
Julia Roberts has that shit you can cut diamonds with, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
And her big
No.
smile too, like she's known for having like that huge smile. Like Sandra Bullock doesn't have that.
Yeah, Julia Roberts just looks like she's bored half the
Who
time.
is this?
Sandra
That's
Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Fuck.
Bullock.
Yeah, it's not calling her
Fuck you, I
Bullark.
don't care about her last name.
Why are you trying to call her like a Gears of War monster, like Bullark? Coming to get you, like.
I don't know. She has the same acting range as Marcus Phoenix.
Oh,
Oh.
damn. That was a great insult, but I'm not.
Hey,
gonna
no
talk
one's
anymore
fought me so far, so I gotta be somewhere, right?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna let you continue on with your opinion on this because obviously I don't know who the fuck is who. Okay, I'm sorry, people. I've been.
What did you think? What do you think this is a time travel movie? You went back in time to play somebody else?
Man, fuck you, dude.
What do you think the plot of this movie was?
I don't know, dude. Like it's Freaky Friday or something. I don't know what the fuck. What do you think about Ocean's fucking 8, you son of a bitch?
Well, consider the fact that the only good Ocean's movie is 1 and maybe parts of 13. Honestly, I couldn't really care less. Like, this honestly reminds me of The Heat, except instead of, oh god, what the fuck is her name? Fat ass McGee.
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, yeah.
Oh, shit, I
Except
just
for
said
Melissa
Rebel
McCarthy,
Wilson.
we got some other blonde woman being in the same kind of role. It honestly just feels very, very generic.
Okay, I mean, and I feel like this is a very generic concept because obviously it was generic after because Ocean's 11 is a remake of the original from way back in the fucking day, and they did Ocean's 12 that everybody just seemingly fucking hated. Like Ocean's 12 was complete trash, and Ocean's 13, even though it was good, it was like, well, it's not as good as the original, it's not as good as the remake of the original. It's not as good as a bunch of movies that came out around the same time.
Sure.
So it just got lost. Even with Al Pacino being in that movie, everyone just kind of like, okay, that happened. So with this, it was like, is this big enough to fucking do a remake? Or not a remake, but like a continuation with female characters? Like, Ghostbusters I get, because it's a big property, but not Oceans.
I don't know, man.
Gary wants to know if you're on that shit!
Are you on that shit again?
Probably. Honestly, I don't know. I think they're gonna try to bank off the full female cast, but honestly, I really don't know how because again, Ocean's, it's been so long. I don't even remember when the fucking the trilogy even came out. Feels like it's been like 15 years. So it's like, then again, Ghostbusters made a fuck ton of money, so who knows?
And by the way, Max saying, Fat Ass McGee, Alan, do you have something with women?
Okay, no, we are not starting this for this year. I do not have a problem with women. Just those women.
He just wants them in their proper place, Alan.
He just hates fat bitches.
Don't you fucking push that shit on me, you motherfucker.
I'm sorry. You said fat bitches, dude. Or you said fat women.
Okay. Every single movie Melissa McCarthy's in, she just falls on and does fat jokes.
No, look, hey, I'll say the same about Kevin James. I mean, it's basically female Kevin James.
Hey, yeah, but we're not talking about Kevin James right now.
No.
Nick, Alan just doesn't like fat women, and he thinks y'all should be in the kitchen. That's all he thinks.
Fuck you.
That's awful.
Okay. Go to hell.
He's a wonderful human being.
Because again, they have Anne Hathaway and Rihanna in here, and I like seeing them in movies. So,
Allie, how do you feel being friends with a sexist pig like him?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
She's like, oh, this is nice.
It goes good with pineapple.
By the way,
she's debating whether Allie's right now in her face is like, should I have his back? But he also hates Natalie Portman.
Exactly. I love Natalie Portman.
Hashtag Alan hates women 2008.
No!
Hashtag Alan hates fat.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Nah, we're good. People, man, fucking Eddie. How did you guys do that before he said it? God damn it.
No.
Fuck all y'all. Not
this is year 3, man. They've had enough time. They know when it's coming.
Lord have mercy. And he wants to say, Ruthless says he wants to say, I don't agree with Alan, but are we really going to act like Nick Cage would have gotten his break if his real name wasn't Nicholas Coppola? Wait, really? Is he like Frank Coppola's son or something? Or?
I have no fucking idea.
No, I'm laughing because of a broke black man put. Damn, my family thinks I'm a fan of pricks.
Yeah, my family thinks I'm fans of pricks. I'm sorry, we are assholes.
Wait, are you showing this to your family right now?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't recommend that, but
that's a terrible idea.
Hey, tell him Alan's opinion on fat women.
Oh my fucking no! It's Jesus Christ!
It's all over.
Alan Shiggins doesn't care about black people.
I quit after that. That's trending. I'm out.
No, I'm just joking. No, people, please don't.
Austin with that fucking hashtag above my fucking head.
Just say that I said people. Put my name in the hashtag. I want to be.
He's also a member of the Fun Police and now the Calorie Count Brigade.
God, you're gonna have badges all over you.
Man, her entire career is built on her fat shaming herself.
Jesus Christ. Moving on. This is something that we're not gonna talk about too long because I'm just gonna be straight up, man. This was underwhelming as all fuck. The Incredibles 2 trailer. Yet another.
Fuck you.
Really? Oh, Mr. Nostalgia fucking self.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna win any fans tonight, but I didn't hate it, but it was all right.
Okay, so Ganja, why do you fucking
I'll have to shoot a bird?
Okay, that gun.
I'll kill you first before that happens.
Give that gun back to Will Smith from Men in Black 1, goddammit.
He gave it to me as a souvenir, though.
No, he didn't. He just stole it.
I stole it. Yeah, I did. But no, man, I'm hyped for this. I was a fan of the first one because it was one of the first childhood movies that I remember. He treated me kind of like as a little adult. It was giving me the idea of like a middle-aged marriage where the things are kind of not on the rocks, but they're getting settled. Their youth is up behind them, and they're getting into the family motion. Really, finally, it implies that they're like in their 30s and 40s at the time. So they're really getting settled as being like parents and whatnot, like into their second phase of their life. And it touches on that, like the dad's going through a midlife crisis about, man, I used to be a great superhero. I used to be this type of person that was looked up to, and I used to be loved and praised, and he wants to capture those glory moments with him and his buddy. They used to do that shit together. And it just spirals out of control how he ended up falling into a trap of a villain through that middle-age crisis thing. And I think it goes back to and ties well into the storyline a lot. And yes, Yes, Gary Akins. Elastigirls is very thick. That's
Yeah,
besides.
you might want to acknowledge that. He's never going to shut up about it.
I know. I gotta mention it. But besides that, and then the second one seems like it's gonna be touching on that. That Mr. Incredible is not the everyman. The thing is, like, they're trying to touch on the fact that now female superheroes are the thing that's in with mainstream audience. The fact they're trying to push more female genre superheroes, and they're trying to show that within this anime, showing like, oh, now that we're gonna show another perspective of the working home dad, which is a lot more of them now, especially how marriages and stuff break apart. So you have a lot more dads taking care of their kids. And I think that's a good thing to touch upon, especially if you're a stay-at-home dad. Let's say you got fired or you got laid off because your job closed or some shit because of the economy, and now you're basically stuck taking on the mother role, and you have to deal with that. And it's showing how the mom has pretty much got to deal with going back into the workforce and becoming this hero, and her husband has to just deal with seeing that for his eyes, and him has to just kind of just go to the sidelines and see her shine.
And that's all cool and all. And honestly, I saw that in the whole trailer, so it's like I'm not complaining about that. My thing is honestly the entire movie probably, because I saw The Incredibles, I guess, pretty late, but I still like the first movie. I guess I just expected a sequel would have it where the kids would grow up. What?
All I saw was ass.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Gary.
Anyway, like I was saying, I just thought that it'd be a situation where the kids would grow up, so you get to see, the Beaster and Violet, the kid, they would be adults, maybe raising their own kids, and we get to see a different dynamic, maybe even the same kind of dynamic, but with the kids. But now it's like, I feel like we're just gonna. I don't think we're gonna repeat the exact same notes as the first one, but I think there's gonna be a lot of similarities, and I'm kind of just. It reminds me of Dragon Ball Super, where it's like it's been 20 years, but the characters look exactly the same. So it's like I don't know. That does bother me.
A little older. Like Dash is probably in middle school at this point.
Oh yeah, but it's been like what, a year, 2 years, maybe? No,
Yeah.
like it's been what? When did the fucking movie come out? It feels like it came out early 2000s.
But the Incredibles in the first one, when she's pregnant or whatever, she has a kid at the very, very end. So it's literally only been like probably a year.
Sure, but my thing is, I guess I wanted it to be a situation where this movie's never going to do that anyway. But I want a situation where the kids grew up, and then we got to see what their lives are going to be. When their powers, maybe they were able to master them. And it's like, well, where'd their kids be like? Type shit.
Oh, Broke Blackman says it's going to be in the same time period. So yeah, they haven't changed at all, Alan. To go to your point.
Yeah, to me, it's Dragon Ball Super, and I don't think she was pregnant. That Jack kid was there. He just got powers near the end.
Okay,
yeah, he was stuck with them. No, what it was is he got stuck with the babysitter, and they were doing like those for like non-sequiturs.
That is the best short of all time. It is just her surviving in a house. I love that so much.
The Alley, I know that you love this movie quite a bit, the first one. What do you think about this new trailer, if you had watched it? And if you haven't watched it, then what do you just think about what I'm showing on screen now?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a new trailer. Honestly, I don't really...
with that though, like, I mean, do you have any kind of like, what do you call that? Like, I don't know why I'm dropping the fucking word
An
out. Opinion on like the new trailer at all, or just the idea of a new one coming out?
Well, no, because I haven't seen it. But I mean, I really like. I'm pretty much already sold on going to see it anyway. I kind of don't want to learn any more about like what's gonna happen. Just because I don't know. Incredibles is very dear to my heart. It's my favorite Pixar movie. So they already got my ticket. So I'm excited. I'm not ecstatic about it. I feel kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's been so long, of course, since the first one, that now it's coming out and I'm like, oh, well, I'll definitely see it, but I'm not like, I don't know, gonna rush out to see it, if anything.
Yeah, this basically gonna be her over here in the desk. I just like, well, I mean,
it's almost like the effect I had with The Last Jedi, where I was like, ooh, I gotta see what happens next, but okay, well. I'm excited, but I'm not like,
you just gotta fuck him with that one.
It's not like The Force Awakens or anything like that. I'm like, oh yes, it's back, Yeah.
And I think the thing that makes that be the case where you're not is because of the fact that like, it is a comedy, and it's like no one can be really that excited for a fucking comedy. It's like I can't wait for this movie to make me fucking laugh instead of me like just laughing naturally when it comes out. It's one of those things, and that's my issue with this, in a sense of like the comedy shit. This might as well not be a comedy at a certain point. This is a little like fucking bleh. Like it's like, oh, ever seen an animated movie before? Voila. Like,
Yeah, that could just be the trailer though, because again, when you look at the first one, it had its joking moments. That movie's dire and very serious for most of its runtime. Like again, the moment that always sticks out to me in the first one is when they're in the cave on that island, and she goes, "Yo, these villains aren't your Saturday morning cartoons villains. They'll kill you." You're like, holy fucking shit. She's talking to her kids saying they're gonna fucking die if they don't be careful. Like, I hope it continues that, but a lot of stuff Ganja's pointing out and a lot of stuff in the trailer, I feel like it's hitting some of the similar beats. Where he was like, oh, I want to be a superhero so badly, so let me just go, to this guy who gave me the option to be a superhero, and now I feel like I'm the rock star now, and now she feels like she's the rock star and being left alone. It's like, I feel like they're just doing similar beats, but just in reverse, and I'm afraid it might be just kind of a pale imitation of the first one.
Yeah, Deja said that she been waiting for this since she was 7 years old. Adrian said she still hasn't watched the first one. Maybe we're going to turn that into some kind of like.
What is wrong with you, Adrian?
Yeah, you over there watching Beauty and a fucking
That
not this.
was kind of a slip up on your part, girl. You're a kindergarten
What, you went
teacher.
to see Pacific Rim Uprising over like renting The Incredibles at least, like, and watching it at home? Like, girl, get on it.
Hey, we've all watched some bullshit before we watch something good.
Nah. The Incredibles is like one of those top Pixar films, like next to Toy Story.
Man, that's what people say. Where it's like, man, you gotta watch. It's like, watch it when you want to watch it. Don't be pressured into it.
No. The Incredibles is like, especially if you like comic book stuff and
I didn't watch it till last year, so. I get
by
you.
the way,
Alan.
No, and Allie,
I
gotta stop you,
never
girl.
watched it as a kid because, again, by the time I grew up to that point, I didn't watch a lot of animated movies. So then I just sat down with a friend one day and watched it. And I still enjoyed it even after however long it's been.
I'm judging you too, Alan. You fucking.
But yeah, again, you can get. There are a lot of movies where you don't watch. Like, you don't yell at people for not watching this movie.
Oh,
Watch
no,
me.
but really quick, no, what the hyperbole in this motherfucker. Alan, don't you fucking agree with these motherfuckers? No. I'm on your side again, by the way, so I'm just saying, I'm writing this down, you owe me 50 cents. No, but the thing is, this movie the first one's not that fucking good. Y'all need to chill.
It's good.
Hey.
It is
Hey.
good. It's just
good.
Hey, you leave The Incredibles alone, okay?
It's not my favorite
It is
Pixar
beautiful.
movie, but it's still a good movie.
Man, nah, you playing something with Toy Story? This is your typical
Yes.
fucking. This is like the template of superhero bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, it's still good. It's funny. I like it. The animation's good, but don't put this even anywhere near close to Toy Story or A Bug's Life. These creative fucking movies actually built.
Toy Story is the same movie 3 times, okay? Just
No,
different
we
scenario.
are not having this
It
fucking
is.
fight because we're gonna stop being friends after this.
It's basic. Hey, I love Toy Story, okay? They're
Do
like,
you?
yes, I grew up with it. I love Toy
You
Story.
just talk
But
so much
it's
shit
basically
about
the same thing. It's kind of the same thing where it's like, oh my god, like Andy's doing this, so we gotta make sure that we stay in his life more. Like that's all every single one is, and it's done in different ways, yes, but it's basically the same story told 3 times over.
Don't make Nick cry. He'll think of the third one.
Hey,
Oh, you motherfucker.
again, I think it's like definitely one of the best trilogies out there until they make a 4th one and screw it all up.
Ruin it.
But they do have similar like story elements, like different characters, different scenarios in certain parts, but still it kind of has that same overall arc to it. So
Allie, what the fuck is wrong with you?
hey, you know what? And The Incredibles might be the same thing too. So who knows?
By the way, too, we're talking about.
I'm with you, Nick. Like, it's not up there. Like, I like the Incredibles. It's not my top favorite. For me, like, this is a personal thing. My favorite is Finding Nemo. That's my favorite one.
Oh well,
like,
fuck! Now I gotta backstab you.
I'm sorry. It's my favorite one. I love the story of a father.
I've never much been into that.
I just love the concept of the story of a father will do anything to get his son back. He'll travel the entire fucking world just to get his son back. I love that story.
Man, that is. Oh, never, fuck.
Oh yeah. God forbid people have parents that give a shit about that.
No,
Man, that is. You're talking about templates when you're talking about superhero movies, but you're literally gonna go like, oh, but this movie's creative. Meanwhile, it's the same.
I never.
Let's go find this lost family member trope.
Okay, you're putting words in my mouth. I said this is my favorite one because I love the story template so much. You just added half a dialogue that never happened.
Yeah, by the
my
way,
head,
it's
this
not
would
what I
occur.
said. I think I mean.
I never said anything about creative.
Did you say this shit or not, motherfucker?
No, we're on a live show and people are yelling at me from shit beforehand. You think they wouldn't have fucking said it?
You got a good point. I'm watching the chat now go in on you.
Oh, I know
You're
the
strange little man and you have my pity. Man, fuck you, JP. Don't fucking pity me.
Look at Michael Jackson over here, just like, it's fucking good.
Oh, that was me during Allie and Alan about to kill himself for Toy Story.
At least I didn't pull an alley and say all the Toy Story movies are the same.
They are, dude.
Oh man.
Man, how is no one yelling at you in the chat?
You break it down, you'll be like, whoa. I'm telling you.
Toy Stories is a big Stockholm syndrome, not being able to get over an old relationship.
JP said, all here is sad, strange little man.
Man, if I said the same goddamn thing, they would have killed me in the chat. Y'all are favorites.
Damn right we are. They love us. I am the people, and the people are me. Can you dig it?
And since Alan called me out earlier, I will admit to this, because Max, me and you, fucking, he says he loves the story of, oh, it's Up. Fuck, never mind. God damn it. I thought you were talking about Toy Story 3 because I cried my ass out Toy Story 3, where basically what's the name? Andy fucking gets old and all these toys are left with nobody. That shit was depressing as fuck. That was a grown man's movie. I don't care how old and how badass you are and how many biker chains you got.
That was for all ages, Nick.
It was it?
Yes.
Wait, no, isn't all animation movies for all ages?
Yeah, more or less.
No, not everyone.
Then why'd you just say it was a grown man movie? Like, you're trying to sit there and be like, yo, man, the grown man shit. Like, it's a whole age movie.
No, because little kids shouldn't be watching that because that shit is depressing as fuck. Little kids gonna be like,
Yeah,
Mom,
but
it's again,
again,
my toys.
That's what some of these movies are for all ages work, because even though it's sad and depressing at times, it speaks to all generations of this can happen, where it's like eventually you have to move on and grow up, and some things you can keep for child, but some things get left behind. It's inevitable. It is an adult thing, but it's also something that kids can learn. That's like life goes on.
I guess. Yeah. Well, whatever. You're a fucking asshole. But moving on. I love Toy Story the most. Okay, God damn it. I just.
That's hey, and that's fine. And she likes Incredible the most. And I like Finding Nemo. And Gonja likes Star Wars the most. So.
Hey, I love Toy Story too.
But Part 1's better.
Well,
I know what you mean. Also.
Yeah.
I'm fighting with
well, honestly, Toy Story 2 is probably my favorite out of the three, but yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, little Ragnarok.
Hey, little Ragnarok. You're here to help your dad get through his childhood trauma.
Yeah, pretty much.
How dare you say Toy Story the same movie?
That movie is fucking beautiful, man. So, yeah, no, Max, thank you for, well, you did say Up, and I thought you said Toy Story. But Up is another one, though. Up is also a very sad movie.
I've always wanted to see Up. I've never actually seen
it. I feel like the best part is, like, in the first 10 minutes.
I'm glad you brought that up, Allie, because I got a question for y'all. Did she have an abortion, or did she lose the baby? Because I got a huge argument with a friend over there.
Are we still talking about a Pixar movie here?
Yes,
probably lose the baby.
I think she lost the baby.
Yeah, I don't think they put abortion in a Pixar movie.
Because they show that she's in a.
If they did, that'd be hardcore as fuck.
Because they show she's in an Obi White, the baby doctor place, and they're showing like all the stuff in the background. So I figured like she had an abortion, something the way they reacted. And my friend was like, "No, they lost the baby. You got to pay attention." I was like, "Okay, I guess."
Yeah, and CJ, by the way, too. He's talking about ants. CJ in the chat. No one talks about ants enough. No, not CJ. No.
Ants is pretty good. It's pretty. That one is kind of a grown. It's a more grown movie. For animated.
I didn't get into ants. I didn't really like it.
It was okay. It wasn't like bad, but it wasn't bad. It's kind of just the definition of average, honestly.
Yeah, and the chat is all in agreement. Yeah,
everyone's saying she lost the baby. So what did you? What'd you say, Gonja?
I thought it was an abortion.
Well, of course you did, because you're cynical.
Yeah, because he's fucking Gonja. He's fucking asshole.
That would have been hardcore as fuck.
See, Captain Cynical over here.
Yeah.
And Captain of No Fun Police, so you guys want to hang out with me still.
Corporal, I outrank you.
You know what's bad though? You guys are giving yourselves like supervillain names. But the thing is, there ain't no bigger supervillain right now than Channel fucking Awesome.
Yeah, for now, Kevin Spacey's like,
man, you are
they're gonna forget about me for
segues.
I know these segues are shit.
So, Mac, I'm glad you're in the chat right now, man, because you've been talking shit about Nostalgia Critic for the longest. Wait, how do you feel? Yeah, he's been talking shit about he doesn't like the skits. He feels like it drags on too long.
Me?
Yeah, you, Max.
No, the other little Ragnarok.
Yeah, you bitch. How do you feel now that this whole shit's collapsing upon itself?
Dude, I haven't watched Nostalgia Critic since 2 years. Like, this shit is like no surprise to me that it seems like he's very complicit in the whole thing of Mike Machado doing all these horrible things to other people. And it just seems like Mike Machado is I never want to deal with him, especially in real life, because
yeah, I mean, and here's the thing looking at this whole situation too, because all I knew is that there was a Google Docs uploaded one day, and I was like, fuck, man, the MCA crew finally told everybody I'm a dick. I knew that.
I wouldn't have enough space on a Google Doc to explain that.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm a dick.
There's more than 70 pages on that Google document.
Yeah, I know. It was.
And I read all of them.
Wait, did you read all of them on the Channel Awesome?
Who had the time to read that shit?
I read them.
Why?
Well, because
I read them.
Well,
it's fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun to see all the fucking drama going on. Yeah, but like that's the thing though. It's like
they did this, they did.
No, they touched me this way and they did that. Which, by the way, I was like, I honestly, when I read that, I was like, okay, well, it's not gonna be anything as extreme as sexual assault or anything. And then that happens. It was like, motherfucker, it's like a wrestling match. Like every time something happens, like, and here comes sexual harassment, and here comes monetary issues, and oh, back to the ring, here comes being a dick. Like, you know, just.
Oh my God! No one respect this, but child grooming pedophile. Oh my God!
Man, why can't you talk shit about somebody else? Why did that have to happen too?
Oh,
he's already dead.
Alan,
He's already gone, man.
Alan, were you a
So
fan
what,
of
man? We know what he did.
Alan, were you a fan of Warrior?
Like that's the thing. Not really, not at all. But it's just the way he went out hit me personally, because it always does. But it's just the fact that it's like he's gone. It's like, wait, yo, this shit's like, no. We're gonna fucking make sure you hate him now. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's some bullshit.
Dude,
Well, when
I
someone
remember
died-
being
go ahead.
so sad when Drew Warrior committed suicide, and I was so hurt that when this news came out about him being the groomer, I remember being so shocked. I'm like, damn, that really sucks. Like, that really sucks. But man, he went out like a champ. Bang!
Oh, damn.
Oh, okay, what, man? Fuck
Yeah,
off.
that's an awful thing.
You
I won't
know
even laugh
you're
at
wrong
that.
for that one.
Yeah, I won't even laugh at that. Max, I give you props for having the biggest balls in the world, but good fucking lord.
Hang
Oh,
around ganja too much.
No, fuck that, man. He was a rapist and a child groomer. Hey, Max, do you think when he died it was like the Pac-Man sound? Whoop, 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 whoop?
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, y'all! No, I'm sorry, I can't laugh.
Man, I hope this doesn't happen where it turns out that was just false and Ganja just looks like the biggest asshole.
Oh, I'm just putting it all on black right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just joking, bro. I'm just joking, man. No disrespect.
Fuck y'all. Y'all are complicit in this shit.
Alan,
I'm not defending the
Alan.
motherfucker's action. I'm just saying, like,
Alan, the fact that you said it's not real, I kind of wish you read the Google Docs, because when they actually mentioned the dude's name and they fucked up previously when they did their return statement, Channel Awesome, and had included the dude's name with the J and the exact timestamps of when they fired the dude, and it matches up perfectly when Jew Warrior left the website.
Yeah,
So it doesn't take a detective with a lot of red tape to figure out who the fucking groomer is.
Yeah, man, and it sucks that happened because Drew Warrior, and there's another guy too, Michael Ellis, the guy, Lindsay's fucking brother. He
Right.
pulled a lot of shit too, being kind of a little pervert and things like that as well. And I mean, those are situations that are definitely like, okay, you know what, these are fucked up, and yes, like they probably didn't go public and say a lot of stuff about these particular people and these sexual assaulters and everything like that. But then it got to a point too where now they just started complaining about everything, like monetary issues, and like, oh, like, I hate how they send me to do this fucking thing, send to this person and send to that person, and then I did it all for nothing. One guy broke his fucking neck or hurt himself because he was doing some shit. I'm like, yeah, if there's something that takes a fucking stunt person to do, and then you're like, hey, Doug, I want to like be Doug's best buddy, I'll fucking do it. You're the dumb fuck who did it. I'm sorry, but sign a contract. Don't do it.
well,
Like,
again,
no,
a
that's
lot of
the
these
thing,
times are like, they're doing this under budget, they're doing this low budget, and like, we can hire a stuntman, or you can do it yourself. And it's like, if you get fucking hurt, it's like, well, hey, you're part of Channel Awesome, you get the exposure. Like, unfortunately, people get, again, this is just the internet version of the shit that happens in Hollywood all the fucking time. There was a story a couple months ago we were talking about Uma Thurman fucking had the exact same situation happen where she did the fucking driving sequence and ended up crashing. It's like, this is just the internet version of shit that happens in Hollywood all the fucking time, and people need to expose this bullshit more often.
Because of the penny and because of the exposure, people say, okay, I'll do it. That's the thing that bothers me.
Exactly.
Is like, because we talked about this a lot. Like me and Ganja got in a big argument the other night.
Yep.
Or not a big argument. It was a debate.
It was huge.
All good.
I honestly think I'd make it.
Motherfucker.
I tried to do a finisher. He blocked me in the last minute, bitch.
R2, bitch, R2. No. But the thing is, like, when it came to this whole situation, what I didn't like is the fact that people were kind of like villainizing Channel Awesome over this stuff, and then saying like, yeah, that guy hurt myself because blah, 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 the whole thing happened. And I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. And you said this. I'm going to say it word for word, and tell me if I say it wrong or whatever. But you said, this is the same bullshit that stand-up comedian people do, etc., when they pay you an exposure,
Yep.
And the thing is, like, exposure is actually a payment, because if that wasn't the case, these people would not be going to Channel Awesome. They would not be wanting to.
That's the thing. I would get you, Nick, if it was just the exposure thing. But then they started tacking on extra stuff when they actually went to film these movies. Like, for example, they were actually just supposed to film crossovers to do for themselves and put on their channels to get only their own monetization. And then suddenly they pulled these contracts out of nowhere on these guys, made them sign it. If not, they were not going to participate in the film. That gave all their stuff that they filmed while at this hangout spot with all these guys that they probably don't have any chance of actually reaching out to each other or working together in their own personal lives, and just made profit on all their work while they were working for free already. On top of that, helping them out with this movie that was a collaboration. So I get what you're saying. Like if they just came out to do the whole like film together and then that was all they did, then maybe they have somewhat of a petty thing when it comes to this. But they went the extra miles. Like, hey, any work you do out here, anything you content you film out here, that's also ours now as well. And not to mention how quickly they threw up everyone under the bus in their response, and how when it comes to the monetization, apparently they did have monetization with some people, but it was one of those clicky things where you got monetization if they liked you certain way, or if you figured their content was more popular in their eyes. When you have people that were working on the website way longer that weren't getting a part. For example, they showed the Indian guy that plays the guy from Captain Planet. He's in the movies twice or 3 times, but it's mentioned that he's not even a producer anymore. They just do a callback because he's a friend with Doug Walker. Meanwhile, there's producers that have been trying to get on the movies or actually try to do these products with him that he doesn't respond to. He doesn't call them or doesn't reply back, and it seems like the management itself is kind of building up this whole thing where they didn't respond, they didn't act well with the producers. They were just trying their best to get all the content they can for free and make their own money off of these creators.
Now, you, Max, being the person who read all this shit, because I could not keep up when I was reading this stuff, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I got to a point where someone was like, oh, I sent to this one person, I didn't know who it went to. I'm like, well, okay, shit. Sorry, woman. Shit doesn't go well all the time. But
and JP, just sorry to cut you off, Nick, but I'm gonna answer JP real quick. Yeah, they had a rape scene. It's still in there. You can watch it now. It's just more toned down.
Or you can not watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's advertise rape scenes. No, I understand what you're talking about, though. But like Max, I mean, everything that God just said, was he pretty much on the porn? Or do you think he missed anything there?
Yeah, he got it, man, because they would make them sign these contracts that basically locked them in, so they didn't have to worry about pressing charges, anything like that. One of the people who were on the document, Holly, her name's Holly Brown, I think. She had surgery one day, and then the next day she was fired, and then they made her sign a contract so she wouldn't sue for severance pay.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. But and by the way, that fuck up something, Alan. He's saying like, was he on the porn or was there anything else? Wait, what the fuck?
You literally asked him, was he on the porn?
No, on the point. My bad. I don't know. Man, my voice is fucked up.
Man, you were just fucking up today, bro.
I know. I've been saying
was
shit
I on the porn? I was on Pornhub earlier, so you kind of right.
Yeah, I guess Nostalgia Critic was on the porn as well. Probably during the shit.
Here's the thing. I'm going to defend Nostalgia Critic or Doug Walker. From what I've read in a lot of the Google Docs, it seems like the motherfucker's just a face or a talent. It's like if we found out that Corey Coleman from DoubleToast.com didn't own all his shit and someone else did, and they cut.
We'll be like Hollywood.com.
Yeah, pretty much. But if Hollywood.com was just one dude that was just a complete utter dickhead, not just a board of people. And that kind of was what happened to Nostalgia Critic. He needed the money to keep going. The website kind of crashed. YouTube was during his days of anti-anything that had copyright material. So the only thing he had a chance to actually keep going and keep surviving was to go into business with this dude. But now it's gone to the point that if he does make his next decision, it sounds like it's more like piggybacking his brother and Mike Machad's ideas, going like, oh, well, they kind of came up with this idea, so I got to sign on to it. I'm a Nostalgia Critic. If I don't sign on to it, no one's going to feel like this is official. So I feel like he kind of got put in this predicament himself, but then again, he is also the face of the website. He should have some pull of clout to kind of just pull at least the diva card and be like, if this doesn't happen, I'm not going to perform. And if he doesn't perform, the Nostalgia Critic IP is pretty much bullshit. It shows that he was spineless and he wasn't willing to do anything for his people that was making content for the website.
Yeah.
And also...
Oh, go ahead, Max.
And also, on top of talking about Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker actually doesn't own the rights to Nostalgia Critic. The character rights itself belongs to Mike Machad. So if Doug Walker wanted to, he could leave, and then Mike Machad can just put a hat on someone and say, they're the new Nostalgia Critic with even more unfunny skits.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that's frustrating too about the whole Channel Awesome thing is like, man, for me personally, they've been going down the shitter for quite a while now, where people are leaving or people that you actually start to like. There's a guy named Distress Reviews, whatever the fuck his name is. He was great. He left. Todd in the Shadows stopped doing a bunch of stuff. Brad Jones, honestly. Yeah, like Brad Jones, he stopped doing a lot of things he was doing and started paying more attention on midnight screens and that shit with the YouTube shit.
I'm glad you brought up Todd in the Shadows because he's separate entity now. He's on YouTube. You can actually keep watching.
Oh, is he still doing shit?
Yeah, he's still doing shit.
That's good.
I'll send you a link after the show.
Awesome.
Yeah. And but that's the thing that's kind of crazy about this. I mean, even like with whole nostalgia chick, she left at a certain point too. God, I really am fucking. I called her a crick. Crick's not even a word.
Nostalgia crick.
Nostalgia crick. That's fucking awesome.
You okay, man? Like, you want to talk?
Can we put up a counter for the amount of fuck ups that Nick has?
Fuck, we're at 8 right now.
Oh man, just 8? Man, you haven't been counting. And
Let's try to help you out, man.
By the way, I like how Red Robot Keen says, Nick, stop watching wolf porn. Like, you had us at porn. Porn was okay. I might have already fucked up.
I don't even want to know what that is.
But wolf porn? Like, why, dude? Like, but, yeah, and Ryan Walterson says he met Doug at cons more than once, and he's always been nice, cool to talk to. Same with Malcolm and Tamara, which is really cool, and I'm glad that they're still with him. Malcolm and Tamara, I think they're still doing a bunch of... Tamara, fuck. God damn.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Dina Tamara coming back for the season, man?
Allie. I saw Allie nod her head like this, motherfucker, I swear.
Like, and speaking of Malcolm and Tamara, it's like they both put out their own statements regarding the whole thing. And even though they're cool and I think they're funny people, it's like, no offense, but nobody really asked for their opinion involving this because it doesn't really concern them anyway. So it's like, you can just stay out of it and just let, your boy do the stuff for themselves.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like some people probably were like, "Oh, look at them not fucking responding." Aha, like they don't, they know that this is some bullshit too.
You respond or don't respond. You're gonna fucking get a fire either way.
But I do see that apparently Michael Machad got his new nostalgia critic. He's a little overweight now. But I'm sorry, this picture I just could not fucking ignore. But here they are, Malcolm and Tamara. They do all the acting, horrible.
Tamara, god damn it, Tamara!
No, we're gonna call it Tamara, and honestly, no one's gonna stop him.
No, honestly, at this point too, like, fuck this girl's name, because she sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but she's the reason why I don't watch this shit.
I like her. Her and the other girl, I thought they were good.
She was the funnier one, I'll say that.
It's her fault for having a name that sounds like something off Guardians of the fucking Galaxy. So yeah, fuck her.
What?
Because Gamera, there's many girls with the same name in the.
I just love how quickly all these producers and content creators just completely jump shit when that shit started sinking like so bad.
Yeah, man.
If you go to the Channel Awesome website and you look down the people who are still there, there's only 2 people left. There's Gru, Larry, and
Man, this is like that this is like that Family Guy skit with the last brain cell. It's just me now.
Like, there's only 2 people left, and that's it.
And the funny thing is too, and people keep laughing about that, but I'm like, well, yeah, those are the only 2 people I gave a fuck about, or actually only one of them. It's Brad Jones. Because that's how bad this content is. And I feel like, you know what, dude, at this point, they say, like, oh, man, it's a big deal, and fuck Nostalgia Critic, or not Nostalgia Critic, but fuck Channel Awesome, the whole thing. Well, they all knew about this. Some of those timestamps are in 2012. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, you guys were cool with this shit for 6 fucking years, and now you want to make a big deal and villainize Channel Awesome. Y'all motherfuckers are the villains, too, because during this entire time, you were just as bad as Channel Awesome was, not telling people this shit. And this is why I can't stand about any of these fucking
Not
things.
really, because what it sounds like from what a lot of the things that went on, these guys were really on point on making you sign contracts with non-disclosure agreements. Like, to the point that Max brought up the girl Holly Fields. When she left and she was forced to sign that contract, she actually was barred from the industry for 5 years by Channel Awesome. If she actually worked within the video game industry or review industry or trying to help podcasters or YouTubers out, she could have got sued by Channel Awesome and could have lost more money from her doing that. So these guys weren't completely innocent in that sense, Nick. They were going out their way to keep these people locked down.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, like, for me, and I mean, I'm going to ask Alan, too, because I don't think Alan has said a lot of stuff about this yet, but, like, you, dude, like, what do you feel about this? I mean, do you agree with the Google Docs and those pages that, Channel Awesome is a big fucking villain in this whole situation? Or do you kind of see where I'm coming from, where maybe they're not so great themselves?
Sorry, I did something really fucking stupid right now. But,
What did you do?
It'll explain in about 5 minutes, but I do get what God's getting at. Sometimes you can't always come out and say this kind of stuff. You can't, because, again, fear of retaliation, fear of just getting blacklisted or banned. So it takes a lot of push to actually get that to happen. So it's like, I get why that's a really big issue. Because it's like, yeah, sometimes you're like, I'm the only person that's willing to step up. It's not going to work until the dam just breaks, and then we see it flooding. We see this happening all the time.
Yeah. And I'm looking over here, too. Like, I mean, it's almost like people are taking glee in this shit. I mean, over here, I thought this was kind of a weird little post, like, farewell, Channel Awesome. Not many other people did that. And the way this dude's kind of like, like fuck yeah, you know. It's
you should look at what Guru Larry, no relations, is doing right now. That motherfucker is literally making jokes on his Twitter talking about who was gonna be the last one standing, me or Cinema Snob.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because they're the only two left.
Yeah, making a joke of that, in my opinion, is pretty shitty. Especially going, and this is like the 10th anniversary too, so they really like waited. Like, let's make sure to hurt this motherfucker as much as we can. Not thinking about how much you're hurting Nostalgia Critic as well. Like, these are friends. These are actual legitimate friends of Doug.
They weren't friends, dude. Like, if you read the Google Docs, this is kind of why I wish you did read it. It went into how they treated them like friends, but once they were out of their face, they turned into a completely different people and were very unresponsive to a lot of stuff they needed. Even was for example, like they would push up like their own web stuff because they had no control of the upload stuff. They had to hope that Channel Awesome even cared a little bit to get their description right. And apparently, there was a lot of times, a lot of these content creators, even the car complained about this, that they would put their website up with the wrong title description. Someone else would go put their own thing in there, and it would miss the point of what they actually have to do. And it ruined. I forgot who it was said that it kind of ruined her concept of her show for 2-3 episodes because people were expecting something different because they had put a different description in the show than what she was actually doing.
Oh,
who was it next?
Mars Girl.
Mars Girl.
Oh yeah, and I remember her too. By the way, too, yeah, Nick, you need to read this document. That's what Cedric said, and I did read a lot of it. It's just it got to a certain point where certain people's complaints were like, okay, you know what? Me coming from a thing where, and I'm not saying like I'm a boss of anything or whatever the fuck, but it's like looking at this and knowing that they're all trying to get a hold of one particular person or even 3 particular people. It is hard to deal with all this shit, and everyone just seemed to kind of like just do shit because the higher ups said to do it. Like, for instance, one thing, and I won't go into a whole big thing about the sexuality thing because I'm not going to blame the victim and whatever that shit was wrong, etc. And I want to make another joke about Jew Warrior being dead or whatever the fuck. That shit's awful.
I'm waiting. I'm looking at them in the sky right now like, how can I assault this motherfucker?
Yeah, and I don't want to like do that again. Like, honestly, we say enough at that point, but on top of that, it's kind of linked to that type of stuff. Is like there's a scene, or not scene, there's a moment that they actually brought up. They screenshotted, Channel Awesome screenshotted in the rebuttal to all these people and all these accusations, etc. There's a part where Lindsay, Nostalgia Chick, she asked him, hey, I'm going to send you this clip for my little video I'm doing of all the grunts and moans for the particular joke. And she's like, so who do I send it to? And the guy's like, oh, send it to here. She's like, okay. And then it's like, okay, send me it with no music in it. You send it straight to me, the whole fucking thing. And she sends it, and she's like, well, who got it? I need Doug to get this. Not you, not this person. I need Doug to get this. And Doug's in the call. They have Doug Walker's MSN Messenger fucking username, all that bullshit. And she can easily just send it in an email or something like that. But she sent the fucking clip to him like 4 times, literally titled Moans and Grunts, and they never used it. So that shit's just floating somewhere. Some fucking dude has, or multiple people do in that group, have some clip of her moaning and grunting. She didn't care to think maybe this is fucking weird that some random dude in this MSN group is like, hey, send me your moans and grunts. We might not use it, but go record it. It's like, get a fucking reason.
That goes back to the problem with management, man, is that they did a lot of these bullshit ideas to try to keep these guys in context, and it just became a horrible idea to the point that they just relied on Skype group chats towards the end. And apparently group chats delete shit towards like after a week or so. So that was them trying to do like the most simplest ways possible to keep this website going. So the fact that they are like trying to put the blame on her. Meanwhile, one, they made the rape skit and they released the text messages showing that her and the car had a problem with the rape skit, but they were very forceful saying we're going to do it this way because we find that it fits the context of the movie and it fits with the joke we're trying to go with. And if you're on a movie set, Nick, a lot of times you can't disagree with that shit. You can't be like, hey, let me do it my way because I feel this is wrong. They're going to look at you like, well, we can find someone else.
Yeah, true. And, I mean, on top of that, too, and, I mean, that's nothing to debate. I totally understand what you're talking about in that sense. But one thing I will say, too, that was always kind of like, okay, what the fuck, is over here, this Channel Awesome posted this thing talking about, because everyone was saying, like, they had man, I can't talk right. Accusations. They're talking about accusations of all this sexual deviancy and all this shit. And they actually showed, like, yo, we didn't just let this shit go. Here's the screenshots talking. I guess you can't see it. But there's screenshots talking about, these situations saying, like, yeah, we know. We're going to take care of it. We're going to get rid of him. We're firing this particular person. But in those Google Docs, the shit that I read, which is why I stopped reading it because I knew it wasn't fucking true. And I knew that those people just flipping the fuck out. It did get to a point, though, that, yeah, they did. They prove it in this fucking screenshot. It's
Yeah,
an actual
but-
screenshot.
But the problem with that, Nick, is these accusations were going on 2-3 years before they finally cut down on it. There was a guy that recently released a vlog. I forget who the YouTuber name is, but he was actually great friends with Drew Wario, and he's even come out and said, "I've heard these things, and I didn't want to believe true, but after the stuff that's coming out with Not So Awesome or Change the Channel, I can't help but say that I kind of suspect it's all in the back of my head that he was doing this stuff because everyone knew it behind the website. This is just them trying to keep it on the down low. So when they were finally doing these messages with each other, trying to prove that they were trying to get rid of the guy, they're just showing you the cherry pick, like, oh, this is the final time we're dealing with it. They don't show the other 1,000 messages of all the other guys messaging talking about, we suspect you Wario's doing this. We don't like how he hangs around with our underage fans and all that degree. They just cherry picked the time that he actually got busted for something that was about to blow up, and they didn't want her to go to the public with it.
And he said this is going on for years before this, because the thing is, this is around the time where Channel Awesome was founded, which was around 2012, because before that was Dad Went to Classes.
They've been doing stuff around since 2008, 2009, but they didn't get popular until around 11 or 12. So he was doing that at cons already as Jew Wario, and then he became under the Channel Awesome brand, started doing it as well under them.
Oh, okay, then, well, shit. I mean, like I said, and that's where things gonna get confused, but it's like, I will say, and I mean, maybe it's just me playing devil's advocate at this point, but when it comes to situations like this, and they're actually trying to prove shit and trying to say, like, hey, because this is not the only thing, I won't go into the entire, I mean, this topic would be way too fucking long, honestly. It's so
Dude, there's a guy that did the whole Google Docs. It's like a 3-hour video.
Yeah, which is fucking ridiculous. I mean, especially when it comes to an opinion, more so than...
Oh, man, of course that's going to happen. We're going to have reaction stuff. Hey, this is a dumpster fire, and everyone has their phones out, man. This happens to everything.
Yeah, what were you saying, no, Max?
And not to mention their responses doesn't even begin to cover the more than 70 pages that are on that Google document. They're going to need to pull out all the styles that they want to try to defend themselves. That shit, the response they have barely even scrapes the surface.
Yeah.
And not only that, the way they chose the response, I don't know if it was Mike McCall who made it. There are a lot of people that are suspecting that's rumor, and I'm not going to go by that. But it seems like whoever did rate the post, they were not about to defend the company in the right way you should. They defended it like a 14-year-old defends their house. They were, yeah, pretty much, and they're like, fake, fact. It was like watching Fox News segment.
It was like watching Trump, fake news.
People have been saying that shit all day. It's like a Trump response.
And then, like,
we'll sue you.
And not only that, when you look into the fact stuff, they're cherry picking like all the information that they could sort of defend, but all the other stuff in the Google Docs that have people actually putting their names on it, risking lawsuits, they're not mentioning any of that. Those other allegations.
Yeah. Well, they even admitted in this thing that some of the shit was true. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. That's like. You know,
well, that's the whole thing with Jew Wario. No one knew that shit was Jew Wario until they fucked up and forgot to blur the man's name and date.
Yeah, well, they even admitted to a couple things too, of just like the monetary stuff. Like, yeah, sorry, I mean, we pay for, and that's the thing too. Like, I do a lot of like analytical stuff with my job and everything, and it's like, yeah, people expecting certain payments is fucking impossible considering how much bandwidth allocation that website takes. Because you got 8, not even 8. There was like what, 16 fucking people doing shows.
There was 20 at one point.
Yeah, do you know how much fucking bandwidth that shit costs? And to mention the traffic going onto the sites to watch the shit on Blip TV, which at that time, it was like 3 years ago, that shit was dead. Blip TV was struggling fucking the entire time because it was such a horrible fucking media player until they started putting everything up on YouTube. But yeah, it's weird to me. But we're saying no, Max? I'm sorry, man.
And then not to mention the stuff against Channel Awesome has been going on for a few years now. Even back in 2015, when you had about 4 or 5 people just leave the site, including one of them. I forgot her name, but she was fired because she didn't show up in the computer in 15 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
you're an idiot, Alan.
Man.
So, Eddie, what you think of our Google Docs and the plan going on?
Man, why did you on the air?
Wait, what?
I couldn't. Hilarious that you did that shit, sir.
Man, I fucked up real bad earlier.
Wait, what did you do?
I was like, what does he want me to look at with this?
Wait, did you post a goddamn Google Doc somewhere?
I accidentally
sent it to me.
Wow.
I thought we were talking about this after the show so Nick, could properly fucking yell at me then, not mid-show, you smart.
I thought when you said it in the fucking messenger you wanted to talk about it, I was like, oh, you dumb.
No, why would I just wanted to explain what the fuck was going on.
You fucked up. You fucked up.
You fucked up. Oh, man.
Like,
honestly,
he told me not to look at it, but I didn't see that part until afterwards.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I meant in the sense because I didn't want you to join in and then I get yelled at.
You know, honestly, at this
Man.
point, we can actually show our Google Docs. I'm not going to, but we can actually do it because I just have all the topics on the side now. Back in the day, it used to be like, ooh, the big Google Docs.
There's nothing there. It's just it's more of just professionalism, and
I just love you did it because you made fun of me so fucking hard when I posted it in the chat that one time. The link.
You posted it in the YouTube chat. I said it to one person.
I sent it to the DT chat, sir.
Man, I can just imagine the Google document on us. Ali wore too much denim. Alan Key is fun, please.
Are you kidding me? It's more the opposite of if Ganja doesn't say something about my denim one more goddamn time.
There's a whole channel awesome like controversy in it too
Yeah, I know.
with the MCA.
Hashtag disconnect chat, yo.
Really have nothing there.
By the way, when you guys start fighting amongst each other, I'll just be a quiet person back like Nostalgia Critic, just like not doing shit, just like, oh, well, let the whole shit burn.
And
Like, I don't
just
give a fuck.
your response from your personal Twitter.
And by the way, too, it sucks. It does suck with Channel Awesome, like with Doug being like the head of it all, and like even in the thumbnail. And by the way, people, I'm sorry, I had to do this for tagging. I'm sorry, I'm a piece of shit. But like, I had Nostalgia Critic himself in the thumbnail because he is the face of Channel Awesome, and this shit has nothing to fucking really do with him. And it's just awful that this dude, like, his face just plaster all the fuck Channel Awesome. His face, like, hello, guys. You know.
Like, the thing he kind of is, and honestly, until, like, literally, like, I think 3 hours ago, I thought that he was the head of it. So it's like, I can imagine the average fan, or even just people that don't watch it a lot, would be like, yeah, who the fuck runs this thing? Like, at this point, like, some random guy in the corner with a back room and a computer runs this? Like, who the hell's running this?
Yeah, I really feel sorry for the dude.
Some other guy with the glasses.
Yeah, that's what shit should be called. Some other guy with glasses.
Some other guy with the glass. That's a good.
Some other glasses.
Technically, that would avoid copyright.
Yeah, it would.
It really would. Oh man, but anyways, moving on. Damn, I think we're pretty much done with the show. Goodbye, everybody. But no, community questions.
The community questions.
No, I know. I'm just fucking.
All right, everybody, attack the chat. See y'all.
Yeah, done.
Max, bring your little ass back over here.
Oh yeah, I got a bone to pick with little Ragnarok over here.
Oh, you
Oh,
do?
shit.
What's going on?
Motherfucker sits there. If the question gets brought up, we'll have a chance to argue it face to voice, whatever.
Ooh, I am curious what this is, sir. But
It's
people.
masturbation, Alan.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, good lord.
Could be the whole.
He wants to recruit me to the fun, please.
We still haven't got to that yet.
But while I have this over here, though, this is a community question, and this is something I found. I didn't put the person's name because I didn't ask them, or I didn't get a response from them. Of it's okay for me to put this up, but somebody from the Show on the Toast, and they asked the entire Double Toast community, are there any MCU movies you consider better than the Dark Knight trilogy? I am very, very curious to see what you guys think. I'm going to start off with Allie over here.
Is it one movie or is it a trilogy in the MCU that's better than the whole trilogy?
No,
like,
is any movie in the Marvel Universe better than the Dark Knight trilogy? Like from any.
I thought I said Dark Knight Rises.
Trilogy. Dark Knight Rises isn't good. Isn't all that great. It's all right. But yeah, I hold Batman Begins and The Dark Knight very high up. Honestly, I haven't really found any Marvel movie that's really topped those movies for me. As much as I really enjoy Black Panther or Civil War or whatnot, Winter Soldier, I'm not as crazy about it as everyone else is. I'll be completely honest. I think it's still like it's really like some parts are really amazingly done, but I just don't believe as a whole the movie's just like perfect. But yeah, there's not really any Marvel movie out there yet for me that tops The Dark Knight or Batman Begins. So sorry.
And then the way you answer that though is actually perfect because that's what I meant to put. Because the person actually asked Dark Knight Rises. He was like, "Is there anything better than Dark Knight Rises?"
Oh, okay, that's an easy answer because I think that Civil War easily is better than that last one in the way.
So it's just Dark Knight Rises.
Well, hold on. Before you continue on, the reason why because I'm explaining it more so because people were confused as I wrote it, but like, or as I said it, but like any movie in a dark. I'm not saying like it's better than all of the movies in a trilogy, just better than better than all of them in a single way. You know what I mean? Because,
okay, then I'll go with because I love Batman. Like I don't hate Dark Knight Rises as much as everyone else is, but when it comes to Batman Begins, as much as I enjoy that, I think that something like Winter Soldier has that same kind of dark tone with a lot, not so much a lot more going on, but a more grandiose kind of storytelling, and actually works with the character and gets into where he needs to be. Where I feel that the Dark Knight, the Batman Begins is a good movie, but I could see myself rather watching Winter Soldier than Batman Begins. Dark Knight, in my opinion, my personal opinion, there's no movie out there that beats it, so it's really a hard thing for that one. And the third one, I honestly think most would probably beat it.
Okay, yeah, and For me, I didn't mean it in that sense either. So I'll just answer it so you guys can use me as a template. I'm sorry, man. I know it's confusing. My bad. It wasn't the best.
Fuck it.
Okay, Jesus. I'm so sorry. For me, my favorite movie out of this trilogy was actually The Dark Knight, and I don't think any MCU movie beats that movie. Like when that guy asked that question, he put a Dark Knight Rises. The reason why I didn't use that is because I was like, that's such a horrible fucking movie. Same with Batman Begins. So with Dark Knight, I was like, okay, out of the trilogy, this is my favorite film, and is there any MCU movie that is better than my favorite Dark Knight trilogy film? And yeah, I will say with Dark Knight, I think Iron Man's a little bit better. Yeah, I think Civil War is a little bit better. And I will say Black Panther is even, because I gotta tell you, man, the Joker's cool, but Killmonger is such a better fucking villain than the Joker, in my opinion.
My face can't cringe any harder.
No.
You don't think Killmonger's better than the Joker?
Hey, I love Killmonger, but
How the fuck?
Okay, the thing about sorry, all the way off.
no one can top the Joker. I'm sorry. Like, the whole point. I mean, hey, I love that he's very sympathetic, Killmonger. But it's just the Joker, because of how, like, such a question mark he is, and like you just don't know anything about his background. You don't know if he's telling the truth or whatever. That makes him extremely dangerous. And I just think that it just puts so much more, like, you're tense up anytime he's on screen, because you just don't know if he's just gonna, like, maybe crack a joke, or is he gonna kill someone in a horrible way. So I just, like, Killmonger was, I really enjoyed Killmonger. Definitely, if I had to pick one that I would, I guess, I don't know, he's just, I guess he's just more sympathetic, and people can relate more to that. But Joker is just on another level.
And yeah, and I gotta really jump on her point to finish it off. Like, the Joker is an anomaly. He is almost transcends the idea of what he is, because it's like he is just, yeah, guys says, I'm just chaos. I just do things, and it's like that fits his character entirely. Killmonger has a great motivation and background, but the thing is the movie, it's like he's in there, but when he comes on stage, he does his thing, but then he leaves, and it's focused on Black Panther and the best of the Black Panther crew. He is the instigator for all the conflict, but as far as him actually there, he's all right. Is he the best MCU villain? Oh, hell yeah. He's up there with Zemo for me. But as far as, like, better than the Joker, every time you see the Joker, you are, like, almost, like, fucking holding yourself. You don't know what the fuck's about to happen. With Killmonger, you kind of have a decent idea what you're going to get when he shows up.
Actually, for me, I don't feel that way, because Killmonger, I knew that, like, okay, you know what, he's smart enough to know that he needs to have a crew with him. You know, he's with Claw, he's with his girlfriend. I was like, you know, if anything, especially when he's making out with her, and he kind of you see that Killmonger loves his girl. And when he kills Claw or gets in that whole situation, sorry people, spoilers, but watch fucking Black Panther. If you haven't watched it, fuck you. But when it gets to this point, though,
Sorry.
Wait, you didn't see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You son of a bitch! No.
What the
I
fuck?
know.
Man, how did you
I'm a
escape the
racist.
internet?
I'm a racist.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's pretty open and shut there. We can't really. There's no ambiguity there.
Exactly. No, but I think
I would have been surprised if you went to go see it then.
No, like, Killmonger reminds me of. Well, okay, I won't say who he reminds me of, because then you guys be like, "Oh, bringing up that fucking show again." Fucking Alan go mad at me and everything. But
Go do
No, the rest of the chat will.
yeah, but basically he's Avatar. But yeah, like when it comes to that,
What?
Negan, motherfucker, shit.
What the Avatar?
Because Eddie, you don't see it? Like, it's Negan on his avatar.
Oh, that's what you said. I thought you were trying to say that Killmonger reminds you of the Avatar. I was like, the fuck are you talking?
No, it reminds me of Eddie's avatar. Yeah. Good
I
lord.
was like, okay, I guess he reminds me a little bit of Aang
Using his airbending, firebending, earthbending, waterbending.
He will take Wakanda back from the colonizer.
Pretty much. Think
But-
about it.
Killmonger just kills whoever the fuck, like, even with his girlfriend, it was like, boom, like, I don't give a fuck, I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get to where I gotta go, and I was like,
Hey
you know
man, everything was peaceful in Syria until the United States attacked.
what? What?
We're rolling with this Killmonger's the Avatar.
Okay, well, I don't know what Avatar jokes are because I don't watch dumb shit, so sorry.
Everything was peaceful in Syria before France, UK, US attacked.
Aw,
You just
Lord.
made it real.
Man.
But no, like I don't know. Just at the end of it, it's like, yeah, you're right. Everything you're saying, like he's a man with a mission. He has one solitary goal, and he fucking
But
gets
let me
there.
tell you the reason why Joker is not so much great, because from him, you know he's not going to kill anybody because he's being, well, he might kill a couple people, but the thing is, like, he likes to make people do his shit for him. And you know he's not going to kill Batman because he wants Batman alive to keep fucking with him, etc. So it's like with Joker, I'm like, you know what? I know the ending's going to come at the end. With Killmonger, I was like, he could kill Michonne. He could fucking kill them old ladies when they didn't, burn that shit down or burn all that, whatever the fuck that was. Like, you have no idea what he's gonna do, and that's what kind of made me kind of like him more and made me like the movie more. And then when it comes to like Iron Man shit like that too, The Dark Knight's depressing. Iron Man is fun. I like to have fun when I watch a fucking movie. I want to see.
No, you don't.
I really do. I like explosions. I like cool shit. The cool music.
You remember the fun police, Nick?
Yeah, you're getting your membership revoked.
Oh man, fuck you. But no, man, for me, The Dark Knight's great. It's the best DC movie out there, but it's not as good as like 3 other MCU movies, and I like that question, so that's why I asked it. But Max, how about you, man? I'll pull up this once again, Max, and you tell me what you think about this question.
Well, I think the entire Captain America trilogy is better than Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises. Black Panther.
Man, I was about to jump to the screen, man.
Okay then. Black Panther does come close to the Dark Knight, maybe equal, but I feel like with Killmonger, he does have a motivation, he does have a goal, and he is a good villain in the sense that he challenges Black Panther's way of thinking, and because of that, Black Panther actually does what he does at the end of the movie because of Killmonger. But with the Joker, he's just terrifying. He's chaos in his purest form. He just wants chaos and that's it. He doesn't want anything else. He challenges Batman on that because Batman wants order. So it's that classic both sides of the same coin type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as other MCU movies, I don't know. A lot of them are just kind of goofy, and I don't really feel like they step up to The Dark Knight. A couple of them might come close to Batman Begins, but I can at least say they're all better than Dark Knight Rises, even the bad MCU movies.
Okay, that makes sense. And you, Eddie, how about you, sir? Same question. I'll pull this up one more time. Are there any MCU movies you consider better than the Dark Knight trilogy?
I would say Civil War would be better than Batman Begins, only because it has a bunch of other movies to build off of, so you really care and are invested a lot more. But I like all of the Dark Knight movies, probably more than others. But I think I would put Civil War above Rises also. And I guess Winter Soldier, even though I haven't seen that more than like once, I think. I have to watch it again, but I think Civil War is probably my favorite of the MCU movies.
Okay, I see what you mean. And you, Mr. Ganja Guru, I saved you for last, buddy.
Me personally, I kind of don't get why everyone's like, "Oh, Killmonger is better than Joker," because I think it's trying to compare a Twister to a Hurricane. Yeah, they're both destructive forces, but they have so much like difference that I don't think it's a fair comparison between the two, because Killmonger is so based in like reality and actual goals and actual trying to get accomplished done, whereas Joker is more of that classic chaotic villain that just wants to see the world burn and try to fuck with his hero. And I think but those two dichotomies aren't similar enough to be able to compare some of that. I think y'all comparing apples and oranges, but I think it's more of this drive because everyone like Black Panther be like, well, I don't know about you, but I think our villain is better. I think it's just that superiority complex going on.
Okay.
I think everyone just wants another Joker because there hasn't really been a villain as good as that since 10 years ago.
You gotta understand is The Dark Knight isn't a comic book movie. It transcends the genre it's trying to be. It is Batman and Joker in a movie that they're comic book characters in a movie. Whereas every single thing in the MCU is a comic book movie. It takes from it goes along the same templates. They create a formula for it, like comic book does. The Dark Knight is its own fucking thing. That's why again, you're never gonna have anything as good as that, because no one's ever gonna do anything as crazy as Joker. The Joker was a fucking jester and a party animal before that movie came out.
Yeah.
Not only that, man. When you're trying to compare the MCU universe, they're totally different films.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Dark Knight, the Batman Begins, those were singular Batman stories that Christopher Nolan, whoever the guy helped him write it.
Jonathan, his brother, who's famous and wrote Westworld.
Okay, his brother is the one who helped him write it. So that just proves my fact more that this was a very insular and was a very bubble project, that they were focused on making this one creativity, whereas the Marvel Universe movies have always, since their incarnation, have been movies that are gearing up for the next sequel, gearing up for the next sequel, gearing up for the next sequel, gearing up for that final galactic phase, and then building up for the next final phase. And through that, they're can't be put into a trilogy because they're also intertwined, that they're not their own universe.
Sorry.
Me, bitch.
Man, fucking M'Baku.
Hey, Harley has a point.
M'Baku's like, ain't nobody talking about me.
That dog's trying to challenge Black Panther. Fuck that cat.
But to finish my point is, because the film series are two different things. I guess the only way I could compare is probably the Captain America films are the closest that you could get to the quality of the Dark Knight trilogy, because they seem to really be focused on exploring the Captain America story rather than building up to the next series. Whereas Avengers Civil War, that's his final movie, which makes sense in the context that Civil War and all the other stuff from the first and second one were building up to him kind of just turning away from the government and turn up from that whole little good boy persona. Where in the Dark Knight, it kind of just goes to the same thing, where it proves that Batman is going to be Batman no matter what, because that's just something he does. He has this inclination to do justice and fight crime. I don't know why Alfred had to hide that letter from him. I think that would help out further, but that's just movie points.
Yeah, we needed something for the next movie.
Yeah, that's movie points. But I think they're so disparate that you can't really compare it. But if you really have to, for the sake of nerd arguments, I think that Civil War, the Captain America series, comes closest to him.
Okay, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing over here. The next question.
Pin him up. Let's do this.
All right. So, by Ruthless. This one is, you are told dimensions are real. For one day, your doppelganger will be here.
Hold on. What about time?
No.
Hold on. Shut the fuck up, you two. So, I'll start over really quick, just to get through fast so everyone understands the premise, because this is a very confusing fucking premise. Ruthless, your questions, they're good, but goddamn. You are told dimensions are real. You are told dimensions are real. For one day, your doppelganger will be here with you. Do you fight him, fuck him, kill him, or something entirely? Well, I meant to say different.
That's easy.
So, how do you want to do this, Gaja? We're going to actually answer the question or go for another hour-long fight?
Fuck you fuck them, because that's just masturbation with extra steps.
It's not. It is not masturbation. If there's two people in the room, it is not masturbation.
It's not another person, Alan. It's the exact same fucking copy of you.
Yeah, but it's two separate people. There are two heartbeats. How many heartbeats are in that fucking room?
How do you know? They're your doppelganger. They could be like some mirror image where they repeat the same shit you do.
It's another dimension, which means another person.
Which means another rules. Which another rules of physics also applies.
You're making shit up because you don't know what masturbation is.
That is masturbation is a self-act, and because you're fucking
it is not. It's incest.
It is a form of another fan's form of masturbation.
It is incest.
It is the second generation of Pokemon of masturbation, Alan.
That makes no sense.
Alan, tell him about the way.
Wow.
Okay, our whole scenario earlier when we talked about this, because we thought about this shit. We were late today because
we literally thought about this before the show started.
But we were talking about this, and basically what fucking happened is Birdman told fucking Gaja, he says, "Hey man, listen, if you fought them with your doppelganger in room, would it be fighting one fucking person, or would it be fighting two different people?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's different because it's two fucking people." It's like, "No, that's me. You're fucking."
No, it's different because he added another person because he put himself in.
Okay, but Ganja. Okay, how about this? Would you fight your doppelganger?
I might fight him, yeah.
Okay,
yes, that's two different people then.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not, because then I'm just beating up myself like that scene from.
Oh my god, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
if you grab your own fist and punch yourself in the face, that's beating yourself up. If there's another physical person there, it doesn't matter if they're the same.
It's not another person. It's a doppelganger, sir.
It's a doppelganger is another version of you.
It is a copy version of you, but because it's such a copy version of you, it has no entity of its own. So it
does have an entity of its own. How do you know you're not the doppelganger and that's the real one?
I don't know. Let's see who goes for the asshole first.
If there's two people in a room, it's sad.
My mind is blown right now. What if I'm the doppelganger?
See, Rojo is supporting me. It's masturbation.
And he's wrong too. You can join him in being wrong.
Oh god damn! My eyes.
I mean, I don't think the actual matters anymore, but
I love that Jenny is like everything is permitted.
Okay, actually, you know what? Ask the chat. We'll see what the chat says, because only one person voted, because I say it's incest.
Honestly, Ruthless also said it was masturbation. Ruthless said, yeah, you having sex with yourself. And,
nah, man.
And by the way, Ruthless is a lawyer, so he would win this in court.
Man, okay, the literal definition
hold on a second. CJ, this is getting too deep. Phrase in words, bro. Phrase in words.
Yeah.
The literal definition of masturbation is pleasing oneself, which means you, yourself. Somebody else doing it is no longer masturbation.
That's not another person. That's you, Alan.
But that's because there's still two heartbeats. How many heartbeats are in that fucking room? There's two, which means you're no longer masturbating. There's no one in there.
All right, so you're saying conjoined twins are two different people in those?
Yeah!
That's a lie, and you fucking know it.
You're telling me conjoined twins are one person? Are you high?
They are one person, and yes, I am high. Why'd you ask God to agree with that question?
He's always high.
Let me rephrase that. What are you on?
Oh my god.
Like I proposed this question mentioned earlier in the discussion, what if you did another dimension and there are 3 of you in the room? Is that
Again, that is masturbation with extra
oh my
steps.
god.
Dude, you don't have enough. I don't even have enough hands to masturbate that much. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? You got.
But if you have a doppelganger, you will, Nick.
A doppelganger is another version of you. If you cloned yourself, that's still the same thing.
Okay, let me ask you this: Big Boss and Solid Snake. Does Snake kill himself, or did Big Boss murder him?
Oh, D-Shot brings a good point. So if I masturbate and he masturbates and we don't touch each other, is that still masturbation with extra steps?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck this question. No, fuck you guys.
Because I can't believe I'm about to say this, but yes, multiple people can masturbate in the same room at the same time.
Ganja and Alan ruined this question. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. Thank you very much. Yeah. And the next thing we go here.
Right.
Ruthless.
Some Rick and Morty shit.
Wait, did you find a longer one?
Yeah, Ruthless is like the type.
Damn, that's a whole paragraph.
I love you, Ruthless guy, but I've expected the next one to be a Google Doc.
Ruthless just like, they touched me at the MCA party. I don't like it.
He said he was like doppelganger, so it didn't count.
Alan abandoned us at the train station.
I
didn't abandon y'all.
Hey man, all I did was whisper in his ear and tell him this is masturbation with extra steps. Don't worry.
No, yeah, actually, Ruthless. No one touched inappropriately. We masturbated.
Yo, imagine Ruthless making a Google Doc. They keep making me look like I'm Rashad.
Oh, that's fucked up. Based on the sword of Damocles, you wake up the new monarch of your. Fuck you, man! I knew you were gonna talk some shit.
Damocles, man.
How am I supposed to fucking know?
Like, I told you this earlier.
I wasn't listening, Alan. Based on the sword of Damocles, you wake up the new monarch of your own country. Then a note tells you that for a week you can make any law that you like. But if there's a riot about the law, a team of assassins will kill you. What are your first 3 laws? I'm gonna keep this shit up, by the way, because I do not remember anything.
That sounds like a plot of a new Assassin's Creed game.
Talk about it. Sounds like Scarface.
I know. Yeah, he had a buddy named Damocles. Damocles. No. Okay.
Damocles Cortez.
Who? I don't know. I guess throw this on Nick.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Actually, Alan, I'm gonna have you do it because I think you understand what this is more so than anybody else in this room.
Yeah, basically, the entire question is just, you became the fucking president or whatever, and you get to make a bunch of laws. I started off with the purge. That means first course of action.
All right.
We just my second
kill
course of
everybody
action.
who doesn't like fun.
No I'm kidding. No. I was kidding about the purge thing, but my literal first thing would be if let's say I guess I'm Canadian, which is kind of weird. I'll pretend I became president of America overnight just to make this continuity. One, I would completely make all guns free. To completely just get rid of the NRA. Once the NRA inevitably falls after about a day, get rid of all gun laws in every single state, and just do it my fucking self and rewrote the entire fucking thing.
That's 2 laws, right? Or no?
That's 2 laws, and third laws would be to. That's actually a really fucking good. The CDC can test whatever the fuck they want. No restrictions within the confines of human rights. They can do whatever they want. Whatever drugs they want to test, whatever foreign chemicals they want to test, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
I volunteer for the drug research program.
Of course
you are never going to get in there. Ever.
No, Allie, I'm going to ask you really quick. I'm going to pull this question back up again because I'm pretty sure that you're like, what the fuck was any of that? But based on the sword of Damocles, you wake up the new monarch of your own country. Then a note tells you that for a week you can make any law that you like. But if there's a riot about the law, a team of assassins will kill you. What are your first 3 laws? So basically, if you're the president of your own fucking country, what are your first 3 laws?
Dang. I know. Like, what would be my laws?
Like, everyone must wear like shit from Sephora, or I don't know.
You must wear heels at all times.
No, I would do something.
You must wear all of them.
Like, I would do something for the betterment of the society, but I just can't think of one off the top of my head because it's like.
Seize the means of protection, Alex. Seize the means of protection.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of shit going on. You can just guess.
I know. It's like, yeah.
You can have a fun answer.
Equal workforce or working opportunities for people, like, equal pay, time off, like family leave or something like that. Just giving people what they deserve. Education, like let's get that on track, and health, like have it where, well, it's like other countries basically, like have it where it's incorporated into taxes and stuff so that people have more free healthcare and education. I know, very boring stuff, but I really would like the best, because when you have better rules in place, like for governing or for taxing or whatever like that, then people are more happy, so they don't want to commit crimes because they already have everything set up. So that would be my philosophy.
Okay, so
very boring.
Max. Well, no, I mean it was smart though, because mine's gonna be boring as shit too when I get to it. But you, Max, what would yours be, sir?
First thing, if a couple plans on being parents, they have to take mandatory classes and have a legit degree before they become parents.
You want to start, right?
You're dead.
2, a $5,000 fine for anyone who gets reported playing loud music to keep the neighbors awake.
You're gonna make Gonja go broke in a week.
I know.
Yeah.
And 3, get rid of Mike Machado and make Channel Awesome great again.
Oh, I love that shit. Eddie,
Make Channel Awesome again.
Eddie, how about you, sir? What would your 3 laws be if you were, I'd just say, if you're the president of the United States of America?
Make weed legal in every state, because that should have been done a long time ago.
Okay.
Come to Canada. It's gonna happen next year.
Also, make it so that no state can ban dog breeds for no reason, because that actually happens.
There's a reason that
Cats are better.
I don't believe that there's no dog breed that's like actually naturally bad or aggressive. That's all bullshit. But
Hey, pit bulls
I don't know what my third one would be.
Okay.
No, I've had pit bulls my whole life. They're all sweet, but
I'm joking, Eddie. I like pit bulls.
For me,
I can't think of a third one.
Okay. And for me, honestly, mine would definitely be that, for one, I would take off handicap places in stores and parking lots. Yeah, fuck you.
Oh,
Walk.
God.
what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't give a shit. Like,
That's not mine over there.
Nate's like, they can walk just fine.
Damn.
yeah, I'm sorry. But, like, seriously, if you didn't plan effectively to have somebody in your family who cares enough about you to go and get you some fucking groceries, like, you don't deserve. Like, get a wheelchair.
We don't have anybody.
Well, then fucking, they're in the way. Yeah, and I'm sorry, because you know what happens too? These people are fucking disrespectful as well, because when they get out of the goddamn car and they're in the wheelchair, they're always in the fucking way, take it forever. Oh, excuse me.
They can't walk!
But they're shitty
That's
about
not
it.
their fucking fault.
Oh, they're shitty about it. I don't fucking like them. I hate fucking people in wheelchairs. So you guys are always in the
It's
fucking
the smallest thing in the world, and I think that's going to cause the biggest riot.
Oh, and the biggest thing too.
I mean, I have my issues because
Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
I have my issues with that stuff because I work at a grocery store, but I wouldn't go that far as to take their fucking parking spots away.
Oh, that was
It takes like fucking 5 minutes from the walk.
No, and fuck you too, Nick.
Alan hates fat bitches, and Nick hates.
Man!
Yeah, Nick hates crippled.
that.
Alan hates women and fat women.
Okay.
Nick just hates handicapped people.
I did not say
Nick
that.
hates fat crippled women.
Another thing too, what I would do, another law, and I think,
Only
and
his
by the
person.
way, this is coming from a fat person, so don't get mad about what I'm about to say. And Alan's really gonna love this because he fucking hates fat
Oh,
people.
fuck off.
But when you buy your shit at the store, you have not only a limit on, well, I mean, you don't have a limit on how much money you can spend there because obviously you want to make money because money is the best thing ever. But
Sure.
I'm a piece of shit and fuck communism. I'm just joking.
Don't get me started, Mr. Diaz!
But the thing is, though, what I would also do is I would have a calorie limit on the shit you buy. I'm sorry, but yo, if you guys go to the store and you spend like a shitload of money on like 5,000 calories, whatever the fuck, and then you're gonna come back next week, whatever the fuck, yeah, you're gonna get a heart attack, and then you're gonna be in the way, just like those crippled people and everything too. And I'm trying to help y'all out from getting
Wait,
fat.
that's a lot of. Wait, so a calorie limit? What if they're buying groceries for a family?
No, but this is what I would do, is you would put it into there like an account of like, hey, I have this many people in my family and you're this age, etc. And then have these new like fucking nutritional fact things like the barcode and have everything that says this is how many calories that this thing costs and it's a different type of currency within your credit card or whatever the fuck, etc. Now we're pretending by the way that like the whole what we know of the world currently just restarts and I have my own country starting from the beginning.
Apocalypse.
I'm confused.
Yeah, if it started now, and I'm just going by Ruthless's rules, because if we're doing it like we become president now, I can't do this shit, and people too are accustomed to fucking McDonald's. But if I started over and everyone was like normal sized, I would totally set this in place, because it would keep people from being fat, and more people be alive, and everyone would be fucking healthy, and I would have more shit to sell. So yeah.
In your third law.
And
I thought of my third one.
What the
I
third law, shoot anybody under the age of 30, I
I
feel
just
like.
want to point out the man thinks he can sell more food by restricting food.
Yes, because the food stays there for longer.
I have some economic books that you should read, Nick.
Hey, it worked for Apple.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing too, Mr. Ganja. Is
that's
food
a
goes
false
bad.
market. Not on that either.
No, but the thing is too is that food does go bad. Some people waste food, and some people just buy shit like for parties, like let's get fucked up and blah blah blah. And the thing is, some people run out of resources, and you don't have a certain routine or a time routine on purchasing new shit and restocking your shelves and everything like that too. So this would prevent that from happening as well. This all is good stuff.
Not really, because then if you don't increase the shelf life, you're gonna have a more turnover rate of your food.
Really, you're gonna have more food getting run in the grocery store because people aren't buying it.
Yeah.
But then you'll know what sells, so then you won't do that. So then you won't lose so much money on stocking the shelves.
Nick, you might collapse the world food economy in about a month.
I'm trying to do that, but everyone's gonna get food.
That's the thing. Everyone's gonna get food.
You're gonna create a depression, not a riot.
No one's getting food. You're dead, bitch. That's a riot.
That's not a riot. That's a depression.
That's not even a 3-day riot. That's like the riot on the first hour.
The first time I get a cupcake, bitch, you dead.
Walk in by one cupcake, too many calories. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hold on. Tayshawn in the chat.
Oh, that's not even cool.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I mean, to be fair, that's what
Alan,
that scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
Alan, not only that, think about it this way. That was a stuntman that got paid, unlike the stunts that they had to do for Channel Awesome.
Actually, by the way, that was not a stuntman. That was Zach Gowen. That was a wrestler.
Okay, I got one. What the hell is your third law? Holy shit, we're only 2 in.
My third law is... this is gonna sound fucked
I
up.
am the law.
Really? Compared to the handicap and the fat people? Okay.
I'm sorry. And Bax, don't you even fucking judge me because you basically said the same thing. But man, you need to have a license to be able to have kids. And that license, you got to do fucking a shit ton of tests. Are you on drugs? Do you have a fucking job? How long have you had a job? How's your credit?
That one actually makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually agree with. Okay.
But Max didn't talk about the repercussions though. If you don't, the kid, I'm sorry, but
cut your dick off.
No, we got abort the child before, like within 2 weeks. It gotta go because if we don't do that,
the kid gotta go the same way as that kid from.
You went from a really good idea to like, how can I make this terrible?
I like how the point is to make laws and rules to not try to get overthrown. Nick was like, "These are my rules. I'm guaranteed to die."
We fucked that all up.
The thing is, 2 people brought up licensing parents. I 100% agree with that. But the problem is the current system for child services is probably one of the most broken systems in America right now. Those people don't know what the fuck they're doing, and generally parents that have like, maybe they don't have the best job or the best house, but they're still trying, don't get in there because they don't have the absurd limit. But then people are just getting kids because they can get it through the fucking tax benefits. It's a broken fucking system that does get basically what would happen if you started licensing parents and didn't know what the fuck you were doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like for me, it's just there's so many fucking kids walking around being in the fucking way, and then they cause other issues too. People are like, "Oh, I wish I could have a kid," and they don't think about the shit because they're so like, "Oh my god, I'm so in love. I just want a family." Because man, we're owed to have fucking huge families because of the fact, in the way.
It's a biological instinct.
Okay, well, it's biologically fucking us up. Like our shit, we don't have shit to feed people. You're all gonna starve. We're all gonna die. Global warming, like
Negan.
He always finds a way to bring it in.
Just like how Nick, when he goes on his end of the real tangents, I'm like, yeah, that's not really true, but keep going, buddy, because this is a great Alex Jones rant.
I'm just saying, and everyone's frogs.
Oh, no, this isn't 15 minutes of bullshit yet.
I thought my third law.
I'll wait for you to talk about the lizard people in the White House draining us of our sexual energy.
I'm just saying, we're all gonna die. So
also, I would keep Anthony away from all microwaves.
That's another thing.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Yeah, Nick says we're all gonna die, and under his law, it's gonna happen sooner than later.
Exactly. That's it's a warning. Ganja, you.
I would.
Oh no, we'll just read Karl Marx's life history. We don't.
Yeah, you can pretty much just read the manifesto and know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Well, I don't want to put you out like that, so.
Hey, you pretty much did. I mean, there's no one else.
Oh shit, Vladimir Lenin's about this.
No, honestly, like I would do a lot of that shit, but my main goals, I think, would be trying to try to end all the conflicts going on within the United States right now and just bring our troops home. That would be the first thing I would do, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we're doing involved in other seas is not for the benefit of the United States. It's the benefit for certain people that make money off of the military complex. So that would be the first thing I do, would bring the troops home and start to mow down our chances of causing conflict around the seas. Second thing I would do is legalize all drugs right off the bat. Not only that, I will make federal holidays for certain narcotics, so you guys will party hard and not have to worry about something happening.
420 a holiday.
Wait, not worry about something happening, party hard. What the fuck? That's an oxymoron.
No, it isn't. You gotta learn more about drugs. And
oh, you're right. We should get rid of the handicap parking spaces. That'll work.
Legalize heroin.
Watch the fucking store without people being in a way. Like, you know how many people, like wheelchair people, die because they're in the way of another vehicle? Poor people in the vehicle. That's awful. I feel.
You know who's not in the way of a
Maybe
vehicle?
they should learn how to fucking drive.
Hey, Nick, to prove my point further, you know who's not in front of a vehicle? A heroin junkie. They're in the park shooting up. They don't want to be around motor vehicles.
You know what? He does make fucking sense.
They're trying to.
No, he doesn't.
You know who shouldn't be in a vehicle? Any people named Paul Walker.
They're trying to.
What the?
They're trying to.
Can we stop talking about people that fucking
And
die
thirdly,
in real life?
this is something I've always wanted to do, and I wish we could do this in this country, but I would love to ban all the people that we know that are currently guilty of corruption and just being overall fuckheads within the government, and ban them for at least a generation of being in politics. Not ban them from like social life or being part of like actual society, but ban them from actually taking any government places, because I think that would solve a lot of the problems within this country, is the fact that we have so much of like history of people like, oh, my second cousin was governor, so I'm following his step, and I have the hereditary that supports that. Because especially when you look at nowadays politics, everyone's related to somebody, and that just makes it worse for us in the long run. So that's the third thing I would do.
Ganja.
You have a lot of job openings.
Right, Robot Keen says Ganja would fuck a box of weed with vagina.
I did that already. It's called a flesh toy.
What the fuck does that mean? Raheem, we can't just say shit.
You should have just stopped there. It's not gonna make sense anyway.
God damn. But
I like how you got mad at him. Meanwhile, I just replied very casually.
yeah, I know, because you're fucking Ganja.
See,
by the way,
Nate Ganja has good laws.
man, Jenny, by the way, too, she works at a pharmacist, so she knows these types of motherfuckers. No, it's not a good idea. She says, Ganja, that's not a good idea. Weed, I agree. Cocaine and heroin is not a great idea.
I would love to talk to you about that, Jenny.
Yeah, and by the way, too, Cedric actually just I accidentally played the theme song to her show, and Cedric was like, Nick was waiting to end the show. I caught that shit. But yeah, no, I am.
Here's my problem with that. It's like, oh, we're still willing to lock people up for drug use, but only the drugs that I don't like. I think that's the problem. If you really want to get people off drugs, you need to rehabilitate them, not just put them in cages.
People only gonna be okay. You can't rehabilitate someone who doesn't want to be rehabilitated.
That's the thing. Like in Amsterdam, they do that. Like people do eventually get to the point where they want to quit the drugs because they just put their bodies through so much.
We get to wait till they get to the point. Then I mean that's what's important.
Well, that's the thing. Most people are casual drug users. I think it's like 80 to 90% of people are casual drug users or moderate drug users. So there's a less chance of them committing crime.
I don't know, Ganja.
Well, look at the actual CDC statistics. Check out a guy named Darrell Carhart.
Man, CDC needs to just be able to do anything and zero restrictions.
They're trying, man. They want to research moderate drug use, but they're not letting them.
By the way, I don't even like scientists right now, too, with the CDC and all that bullshit, because they still don't even know what the fuck how many planets we fucking have. I'm sorry, but I will not get over that shit.
No, we do. It's just dumbasses that don't know anything about astrology keep arguing with scientists.
Did he just confuse the CDC with NASA?
Yes, because he's one. No, I'm just kidding.
He's one of them.
Man.
Nick would punch me in the face.
The thing is,
yo, Alan was about to insult you hard, man. He was.
No, the thing is, I'm a dumb fuck, and like I won't even be able to argue it. Like, I'm just like,
You got people to this day who still think Pluto is a planet.
We have people that think that Earth is flat.
Yo, 67% of millennials think the world is round. The other half think it's flat. Keep that in mind, folks.
I started screaming when I saw that news headline.
Good lord, man. I don't even.
I'm like, bro, our generation is stupid, man.
But Mr. Ganja Guru, like, we about to get the fuck out of here, sir. So, with that said, tell them about that fucking Facebook goddamn show.
Well, guys, if you come by to the Untitled Video Game Show every Friday at 7:30 CST time on the Facebook page, where me and my co-host, Mr. Birdman, and his female co-host, Penelope, we join us for our video game playthroughs. We talk about video game bullshit and just overall hang out with you guys up in the chat room. Max and Eddie, you guys are always in there just talking bullshit. Hashtag Say Woke.
Yeah.
Woke.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance is amazing.
It's okay to be wrong, even
it's
during
trash.
the live show.
And guys, if you want to come by and check that out, we have the episode right now. I play Superman 64 so perfect.
Oh my god.
So well. I got through all of those
I got so mad at that shit.
You got mad. It was my fucking idea to put it on the show.
Yo, that motherfucker was hitting every ring. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
We thought it was a YouTube video.
Yo, I love that fact because the thing is, Alan doesn't know that I know video games to a certain extent. So when I approve him wrong, I just feel more happy and proud. So if you guys want to see me be happy and proud, proving Alan wrong, go check us out on the Facebook Untitled Video Game
Play
Show.
Smash Bros. One day, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
You little bitch. Anyways, Alan, speaking about letting them know what's up, let them know about that Amino as well as the After Hours, sir.
Yes, well, check out the Amino.
You motherfucker!
I forgot about that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm gonna fuck you up after the show.
Guy
That's
just
the
faked-
Amino.
I love it.
Oh god, this is such an inside joke, but basically, yeah, Jabja, all that stuff was part of the same network. And Riverdale's a god awful show, and I kept telling the Ganja, yo, they're never gonna get a job. And he's like, yo, man, they can cross over. It can be so easy. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be another football team called the Jabba-Jaws. So I
Oh,
went and
that's
found the
beautiful.
show.
I don't even watch that show, but that's great. I like
fucking
watching
all
Ganja
y'all.
be miserable.
Do the Amino ad, you bitch.
As you can see with the Amino ad, where I essentially just use it exclusively to fuck with Ganja. Check it out on the Facebook page. You'll get a direct link to it. That's a rabbit. You'll get a direct link to it, and you'll be able to see a post with community questions. There's a chat there. There's essentially 24 hours. People chat through all days of the week. Then you'll have a link to a bunch of other stuff. The Facebook show, the MCA Shits and Hits, which is Ganja's playlist. That you got a bunch of stuff.
Shit.
And anyway, you'll be able to add all sorts of music, and expand your horizons, all that jazz. But yeah, definitely check that out.
Nick, are you alright? Are you fine, baby?
I can keep going. We do have one other thing, which is the After Hours. While Nick laughs.
Alan, I think you're gonna talk about the After Hours, baby, because this motherfucker's fucked up.
Anyway, so we are doing our final viewing of anything related to the Marvel Civil War.
Fuck you, Chris Brown! That guy's just not gonna play Custer's Last Stand.
Can I do
Wow.
an ad read? Is that possible right now?
Unless you want us taken down from Facebook.
Oh man, go ahead.
No
Jake.
ads.
Anyway, well, half this fucking call is laughing.
Oh,
We are
go ahead.
going to post a rabbit link in the DC chat, and we will be posting it in the Amino. So check that out. We will be doing a viewing party, which is fan choice. So any Marvel movies we haven't previously watched in the last 2 weeks will be up for.
Yo, I think his shit's messed up. Alan, say something.
What's up?
Yeah, you went completely mute on my end, bro. God damn it.
Well, guys, come check out the episode.
Come watch the viewing party. Come watch the MCU movie, bro.
What did anyone say
Attack the
anything?
Track.
Hold on, let me do this real quick. You guys come check
Yeah,
out
you
the
do it.
After Hours. We're going to be setting it up inside the Rabbit. We're going to post the link in the Double Toasted as well as on YouTube when it loads up. We're going to be doing Marvel Night. It's going to be completion of us. I don't know how the rules are going. I don't know what the voting process is because the man's internet fucked up. But if you check out the Rabbits and those links, we will tell you what's going down and what we're going to watch. Nick, let's end this shit before something goes further on.
Yeah, why didn't anyone say anything?
Attack the chat.
Attack the
Yeah.
We're professional.
I promise.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Sucks.
Sucks.